Our Elite 8 Roundup for Viennality in the Injustice 2 Pro Series last weekend. Hayaté, Happypow, Honeybee, and Biohazard all making this top 8. We'll see how those points turn out in the end. Katana Prime versus Biohazard on the winner's side. Katana Prime gets the first couple games against Biohazard's Bane. He ends up going to Starfire. Katana Prime looks like he's got it under control. He gets a nice unclashable combo here. Goes for another one here, but Biohazard is able to block it. And then a tough clash for Katana Prime to swallow as Biohazard ends up taking that game. He takes the next game, the third game. Katana Prime goes with Wonder Woman. Looks like he's got it under control and then just eats too many projectiles. Biohazard would end up taking this 3-2 after an 0-2 deficit, sending Katana Prime to losers. Hayaté versus Irishmantis. Hayaté, a character loyalist for Robin, and Irishmantis, a character loyalist for Atrocitus. It just looked like Hayaté was a little more poised for this matchup. He would end up taking that 3-1. Happypow, the Flash of France, versus Shark Teeth, the Supergirl of Saudi Arabia. He took the first game. Happypow responding here, taking game number 2. Tense moment right here where Shark Teeth has already used his clash against going up against Flash. It's always scary for the comeback potential. And would he be able to do it? The answer is yes, he does. Happypow then has to respond back. Would he be able to do it? The answer is yes. He gets a nice couple of 50-50s, guessed right there in the jump in. And then ultimately, Happypow would end up taking this set. Really close set, very well played, very clean. Honeybee versus Tekken Master in a battle of who looks better wearing red more. And Tekken Master took the first game. Honeybee showing off his defense and then a great combo to tie it up, and then a big momentum swing where both of them have used their clash, both of them have a bar meter, both of them have their trait. And Honeybee says his trait's better, he activates it on reaction, gets a nice combo. He would be knocking Tekken Master out. Happypow versus Irishmantis in the exact same matchup. These two are training partners. They play constantly. A lot of matchup knowledge shown right there. This was a scary moment. Irishmantis gets his trait out with the cat, but he can't really apply too much pressure because Happypow's got his super. Any gap he would lose. He plays it really safe, just weaves in and out, gets a throw. Catch up and Mustard here. We'll do the commentary on the last game.
Oh, so close, that push block was crucial. Oh, he pressed the button, Irishmantis gets hit by the overhead, the stagger from Happypow again. It's so close, Mustard. So close. Here goes into the meter burn. Is that going to be enough to push block? Oh man, he manages to find the way through the overhead, but doesn't have the bar to get the combo into a stagger throw. This is make or break the last hit. Oh my god, we have a match extended! I cannot believe my eyes! How does this happen? And there we go, the puddle comes through. He has the flash trait ready to go.
Probably the closest game to date in the Injustice 2 lifespan, maybe NRS games lifespan. Just an awesome game to watch there. Irishmantis takes it. Honeybee and Katana Prime. Honeybee taking a page out of his brother's book, using Starfire against Katana Prime. It would hold true. He would end up winning that one. Hayaté versus Biohazard in winners. Biohazard is kind of surprised it's everyone using Cheetah, including Hayaté, who gets 3-0'd. He would be sent to losers here. Honeybee and Irishmantis. Honeybee just going to keep riding the storm with Starfire, and it would work. He ends up taking this one 3-0 with a big beam to the face. And then Honeybee versus Hayaté in losers finals, and tries the same recipe against Hayaté. Honeybee wins the first game, and a big moment where Hayaté ties it up 1-1 there instead of going 0-2. Hayaté would keep his poise and keep that momentum. Nice meter burn roll into the throw to take game number 3. And then game number 4, Hayaté does a great job. Ends up taking it. Meets up with Biohazard in the grand finals, but same result as the winners finals. As Biohazard just goes crazy with Cheetah. Nobody really saw that coming. And he would be your Viennality champion and also your Injustice Pro Series new points leader. And there you go, Viennality. Oh, this is the Slips and
Hippo show.
There
by
you
the way.
go. I was waiting for
I
it.
guess I should start that off. Well, shit, it's on the damn screen if they don't know what it is by now.
Fair enough.
Anyway, congrats to Biohazard.
Yeah, taking
The
Viennality.
The dude's been like on point lately. I've been seeing it. Like he's got that winner mentality in his eyes.
He's had a pretty good 2018. He's had a pretty good 2018. Last year he was at Viennality and actually got 7th. But then there was a tournament versus fighting the next weekend that he stayed in Europe for and actually went and won.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of cool to go from 7th to 1st.
He's good overseas.
Yeah, maybe it's overseas. Yeah, maybe he's stronger. His element is stronger overseas than he is in America or Canada. Yeah.
That's weird.
Speaking of Canada, there's a lot of Canada in the top 3 of this tournament.
There was Bio, Honeybee. Yeah.
And Hayate, yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, Canada's good at this shit.
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
Healthcare.
Yeah. Justin Trudeau.
Mounties.
Syrup.
Shijinky Dink.
Bear Hugger.
Bear huggers from Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got the pine thing on his chest and he drinks the syrup. Come on, how's he not from Canada?
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So this was Bio's event for the most part. However, that was almost completely erased in the very first match of top 8, as it were.
When he fought KP?
Oh yeah.
That was that was a huge clutch. Like, poor KP.
Yeah, I really think that was KP's match to lose, unfortunately.
He did. He had it. I think I pointed out in the video in the Elite 8 where he has him. He's got him. He does like a hard knockdown. He does a dash up, and he gets Bio's wake ups like crossed up. Like he was clearly like totally disoriented, and he comes down with the jump 2. And he does the back 2, like the low gun shot, and he bounce cancels it, but he didn't like combo it. Like the jump 2, and then he blocks the low gun shot. And it's just like, oh no. It's like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no. I was like, he's gonna choke. I'm like, no. And then like he still had him in the corner, I think, and then he just started getting blasted. He just lost all his patience. I remember watching, I was just like, okay, you got him in the corner. He's got all of his trait down there. Just let him fucking use it and then just close this out. And then he just got blasted. I was like, no.
He's taking shots. Like,
oh, he just got nailed. I was like, man.
And then he went to Wonder Woman, which I thought was a mistake.
He didn't do bad with her. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
like he had him in the corner with Wonder Woman, like down to the nitty gritty. God, man.
I feel like his Harley was doing great, and it was just him not being able to keep his composure was why he was losing. Not because a Harley had, a necessarily disadvantage. Because to me, with Starfire, what your strength is going to be is that you can throw guns and stuff like that to upset her typical patterns, rather than Wonder Woman, who has to rely on the up shield because the straight shield is punishable. I just feel like it was a weird choice. I wouldn't have done it.
I thought he did fine with Wonder Woman. I thought it was interesting that when she can parry the Stardust.
Yeah, she can parry the first hit, and for some reason the next hits don't hit.
That's really good. Like, how much chip does he save himself that most characters just have to suffer through? Like, that's great.
Then, of course, the payoff, though, is Wonder Woman's always chasing.
I mean, everyone's chasing Starfire.
Wonder Woman is like, she can't throw her projectile. Like, that sucks. She's got to
she can just jump at her and do the air shield. That's a good one.
It's not bad, but that doesn't have the range that the regular one does.
And the shield bash is, she out-footsies her. That's the biggest thing. All she's got to do is weave through the couple of traits, and then she gets to go in and go ham. I don't know. I think both Harley and Wonder Woman, I think he did good with both. He just ultimately, he just lost it right at the end. God, he had it.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing so fucking good.
Yeah,
Damn
the
it,
first two
KP.
games were pretty
Damn
much.
it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
He's such a likable guy. I want him to fucking do good. Damn you, KP. Damn you for being so likable and
Wait, you
choking.
gonna damn the guy now?
No, I mean he's great.
Like, I didn't know
I
where
just
the
know like
damning level.
I know. Well, I'm just joking, but you can tell he's really like he really likes it. He's into it. Like he's really like he's pretty fucking good. What would have happened if he would have won there? Bio's sent to losers.
Yeah,
the
that
whole
would've-
tournament
That
gets
would
turned
definitely
upside
upset
down.
the tournament. Yeah.
In an alternate dimension, Bio maybe is like super emo, and he wouldn't kill himself, but he'd be super emo.
Well, they could just go off stage and just, that's it, end it all.
I was like, it's a little too dark. I was like, I guess I'll just be upset.
It's like, who's that emo? Who's ever been that at a tournament like that emo? Like, look, Dan, I'm just. Although one time I will actually say that was at West Coast Warzone, and K-Brad in Street Fighter lost in Street Fighter 4, and he on Twitter immediately after he lost, like it was an upset, and he was like, "Well, I'm out of this tournament, and that's the last you'll see of me." And everyone was like, "Damn." He was fine though.
I've seen some great tears in tournament losses.
Well, Biohazard
especially in
actually
Tekken.
Biohazard had a pretty famous one when he was at the ESL finals at the Chasing the Cup, and he was so distraught that Ed Boon comforted him.
Really?
Oh yeah.
See, that's old Bio. I don't think Bio. I don't know, maybe not, but I don't think he gets upset like that.
Yeah, I think he might have a little more composure than he used to, because that he used to actually have the KP problem, believe it or not.
Right, I agree. Now he's just, you can see it. It's like it's in his demeanor now. Like it looks like the way he's playing, it looks like he belongs with the best. Like he's getting up there with the Samijas and Sonic Fox. Or shit, he beat Sonic Fox. Like he's beating Samija too. But he's like right on the cusp of like, man, this dude might be like top 3.
And I've always thought it was fun, like the dichotomy between like you got Biohazard who will pick a bunch of different characters if it suits him. Rarely, not as emotional anymore, blah blah blah. And then you have like Honeybee, who's a character loyalist for the most part, with a few exceptions. Super emotional player, like it's fun. It's fun.
Bio is now winning in the points too.
Yes, he did take up. Now he's first, more or less. If you win, basically the way the Pro Series is going to work, because it's not that long. Like we only have like a couple more months of it. If you win one of these Premier events, you're in. So we have Tweety, Samij, and Bio now that have won these Premier events. They're most likely guaranteed to be in the final. Like there is no way they can't not make it.
Right.
All you have to do is be in the top 12, and the other 4 are taken from the other parts of the Pro Series.
Right. Yeah, it's Bio right now with 450 points. Tweety at 410. Samija's 275. Gross is up there, 260, and then Sonic Fox has 200. Honeybee's got 200. Hayate's in there. He's got 180.
Yeah, this tournament probably helped him a lot.
There's like a 3-way tie for 8th between Gunshow, Tekken Master, and Irishmantis. Each got 100. So it's gonna come down. It's gonna be good. Yeah, there's like a bunch of people that have like less than 100.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of them. Because this tournament especially was a big one, but there wasn't a ton of like, I would argue, the traditional people there. Like there was because last year it was filled with people like everyone that you might know.
Really?
This year it was obviously a little bit of a different story.
That was a good. There was a lot of good matches. This top 8 was, I think, more exciting than CEOs, even though CEOs was a more stacked tournament.
Well, this one, that had a lot of 3-0s in that sense. Yeah, I agree. This one was far closer. You had matches. I mean, we didn't even talk about Happypow and Mantis. Like
that was amazing.
Good lord! In fact, that was
amazing.
That was so good that I actually picked that as the match of the week. Believe it or not.
Do it.
I got some clips for it. Let's roll to it. This week we're crossing the Atlantic over into Austria to take a look at Viennality for our match of the week between France's Happypow and Ireland's Irishmantis. Flash versus Atrocitus. Now in game 1 here, Irishmantis shows that he really knows how to use Dexstar, which is Atrocitus' trait, that little kitty cat that comes out. There he is. Once he's out on screen, he's able to keep some moves that are normally unsafe, like that puddle. And you see right here, that shield that comes out keeps him completely safe and makes Happypow forget winded challenge right there. That move isn't normally safe, but the threat of that shield is what made him stop. Allows Irishmantis to push him in the corner, get a big whiff punish, and further his lead in the first game. Later on, they've got a bit of a stalemate here. But Irishmantis does goes for back 2-3 breath, and look at that pushback that's unblocked there. It's enough so that Flash can't really use any of his moves that are pretty fast to stop Trusses from backing up and doing it again. And on the third time, you see, finally he gets frustrated and goes for that long-range move, but he's able to backdash and punish him and take that first game. Happypow's not done yet, though. He's going to show some great knowledge right here. Irishmantis is getting some pressure in. He's going to go for another unsafe move like this low puddle, but when the shield comes out, Happypow knows he can meet him in back 3 and use that to take a huge life lead. Later on, Atrocitus normally uses that fireball to get some space, but that bubble trades with Flash and gets him into a combo. Then once again, he's going to go for a low puddle, but he managed to trade up and punish it and get a huge combo all at the same time. Great knowledge from Happypow. He's going to take game 2. In game 3, Irishmantis goes into his playbook and pulls out one of the oldest ones possible. He blocks the sweep. Instead of trying to go for pressure, he just walks up and throws. Once again, misplaced jump in, walks up and throws. Oldest trick in the book, but Happypow is not going to take it. Last match is literally down to jab, walk back, walk forward, walk throw. Oldest trick in the book, but it works every time. Later on in game 4, we got an Irishmantis is up. He takes a meter back 3, but notice he's got a full bar now. He's got a full super bar, which means he can take a risk like that, which is to air burst out of that combo, and it saves him from getting an even bigger combo from Happypow. And this is the moment of the week, folks. Irishmantis looks like he has the match, but Happypow just won't stay down. He's got him down in the corner. He's got to make a big move. What is it?
Oh my god, we have a match extended! I cannot believe it!
And neither can I, boys. The match is extended. It's one of the rarest situations in the game. Even rare is for someone to keep their composure enough to realize they still have a flash, like right here. Wow, what a move from Happypow. Great knowledge on his part. Last match, part of the match is a bit of a scramble. Both players trying to gain some advantage. He goes for a safe overhead, but he gets thrown once more. That throw comes into play for the last time. Irishmantis moves on. Yep, and there it was. Happypow and Irishmantis tearing the house down at Viennality.
I love the ketchup and mustard's commentary. Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
That was a
I
very
can't
good,
believe my eyes. That's awesome.
very good accent you have there. They were excited. I mean, that's too, because, we don't see...
It was crazy. Like, the match extended happened, and I completely forgot that Happypow still had his clash, the wherewithal to even remember that you had it. It's like, oh my god,
yeah, who remembers that? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I thought that was really impressive to remember that in the heat of it.
It was awesome. The match extended happened, and then Irishmantis neither one of them or at least Irishmantis wasn't surprised. He immediately just popped trait. Like, he was like, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Man, that was good.
We don't usually see those European players as often, so because they're not allowed in War of the Gods, and then it can be expensive to travel to the United States, obviously. So that was fun.
Happypow's got a very different style of flash.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot different.
It's based on just like pressure and like constant resets, as opposed to just massive damage.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to those trait combos will lead more often into some situation beneficial to his Okazemi or his standing pressure. Like, he'll do like that 3-2 where it's like it's the elbow that restands him and then the kick and then he's on the other side. I can understand it makes sense logically. Like, obviously in this game when you're knocked down, you have compared to, say, Injustice 1 where Flash was extremely strong, you have way more options getting up, with delay get up and other stuff like that. To whereas I can see with Flash where, now that, one of your options is a little more punishable than the other, you might want to just, hey, look, man, I want to put him in a situation where I can guarantee something rather than, because my damage is going to be high regardless. He's going to do, even without trade, he does pretty good damage if he spends bars. So
it's interesting. It's different.
It is different. Yeah, it makes sense.
I like that they're both playing same character, and they both have different styles. That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty funny, because I heard that this game didn't have a lot of depth, but we'll talk about that later. Another good match. I really actually liked Shark Teeth and Happypow also had a good match. It was Supergirl versus Flash. And it was just, it came down to 3-2. It was better man won.
Shark Teeth, Supergirl.
I like his Supergirl a lot because, Supergirl is a character, I played a lot when I was playing. That was a character I played the most. And I never understood why she was in the first, because she was bad at first, allegedly. I didn't understand that. But she was bad, and then she was so good, she was killing the game good. And then she circled back around to being like, now she's whack again after being nerfed. But then, you look at like Shark Teeth, and you're like, what's the problem? It's he makes really good use of that back forward 3 special where she she does the Wonder Woman twirling around. It's really fast, or it's not fast when it starts up slow, but when it's out, it's fast. It also on whiff, it almost has no recovery.
Yeah, it's really good on whiff. It's a very interesting move.
Yeah, so and then it just knocks back all the way.
It's hard to jump.
Yeah, because it's her whole body, so she throws her whole body at you, and it's jumping it. And even if you do jump it, she's going to recover automatically. So it's getting a punish on it.
It's a very good footsie move.
Yeah, it's safe on block. It's with big pushback, and then also on hit, you get knocked all the way across the screen. It's one of those big knockbacks.
She's solid. I think people are really butthurt about the 9-frame down one.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing that comes up the most. Where to me, I would argue obviously, even little changes can have a big effect, but I would say if her being game-killingly good was based on her down one having 2 less recovery frames, then I think someone was full of shit. I don't know who, but someone was.
I think she's still good. I don't know if she said 2 frames is a big deal, but I think when you combine that with the trait where it takes a bar and meter. Which is actually, I think that's a great change.
Yeah, it probably should have been there in the first place, because, it makes sense the way you have to trigger it in the first place is by holding the meter burn button. So for it to not take any, it was kind of goofy.
Yeah, so that was a great. I think it's whenever people see more than 2 nerfs, they're just like, oh, the character's shot.
Well, then also, and then I think also our players are notoriously fickle. Anything, a lot of times, any sort of...
That's another reason that I think NRS should just trim stuff or slightly buff stuff, because when they do more than 2 or 3 nerfs, people are just go in an uproar. But that's, who knows? Right. There's plenty of situations where some shit's just broke and you need more.
Right, absolutely, and I think it's a good balancing act. But I think, Supergirl, ended up being okay. You saw, it was mainly Shark Teeth was doing that tornado move and then using her good backwalk to, space out, when Happypow would jump. And then he was using the ice breath a lot.
Man.
The ice breath, too,
yeah.
That was a move I remember I would use on, we'll talk about Flacco in a second, but I remember I'd play casuals with him. I'd use that on him, and he's like, "Why do you do that? Isn't it super unsafe?" And I was like, "Well, you punish it." And he was like, "Damn, that is hard." It is technically super negative if you look at the frames, but actually because it's delayable and a bunch of other stuff, actually punishing it is not really going to happen. Plus, you got the threat of the meter burn coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and it's very it's a very low reward move. It does no damage on hit, but it's just a good move to kind of get him out of the air or something like that.
You just throw it out, yeah. And then
covers a decent amount of space, yeah.
Yeah. You can't, it's pretty hard to whiff punish.
That's what I mean, yeah. You have to jump over it or something. Even then, it's not that easy.
Man, her footsies are strong as hell. She can
yeah.
She can do the tornado move, too.
Tornado, laser, straight laser, down laser, incredibly fast.
What is it, her back two? She's good, man. Yeah. She really is. I guess, I guess the biggest thing people gripe, that's not.
What's that?
That's not people. I guess opening people up is sometimes an issue because she's got to commit to that low damage overhead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, to me it would be a case more, kind of like Superman, where it's obviously she doesn't do as much damage as he does, but in the same way that I think he can't open people up, but ends up doing it, she can kind of do the same thing, except she is.
Her throw's not as good as Superman's, though.
Her throw's not as good, the range isn't as good, but I think she is she's a little bit zippier, and her projectiles are better.
That's debatable.
They're faster.
Better for anti-zoning, that's for sure. But Superman's is better while in footsies, I think.
Maybe.
I mean, neither. I don't know. Who knows?
I think they're a little too slow to be like truly great, but hers are like super fast. So it's a low reward. Like his is, I wouldn't say high risk, but it's definitely like if you jump over him when he's, or if you kind of miss it and he can't meter burn, so he might be fucked. But like, she doesn't have to. She just is fast and she has great jumping moves to help out, and she got to teleport. A lot of mobility options in the air. She can stop in the air.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Her and Superman are interesting. I like the contrast.
Yeah, she uses her legs.
Right.
Contrast, yeah.
Her down 2 is sick. Her down 2 is definitely better than Superman's. That's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah. That might be one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
I swear, too, like, I can't get it consistently, but I feel like there's situations where you do it and, like, when you hit her, she's airborne because, she's like backflip.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like airborne when you hit her out of it. So it's like getting a punish on it is like, okay, I gotta wait for the whole thing to end and then do it. It's kind of like Melina's ball roll, if you played MK.
It's awkward, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Black Adam's forward 1-2.
Yeah, you're kind of looking for it, but he's in the air, so it's like you kind of tailor your punish to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was gone for this whole thing, I thought he was killing the game, Black Adam.
That's a bunch of hooey.
It's a bunch of hooey?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't get it.
Biohazard ended up beating Hayate 3-0 a couple times.
Good for Hayate. He got third, yeah?
Yeah, he hadn't been looking at quite as strong as he, had some good moments last year. But, yeah, there's a good return to form here. He was playing Robin. Robin's going to struggle against that
I love that.
zoning.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love seeing character loyalists do good. And he did good. Like he was super close to getting even better than third, honestly.
Yeah, it's not like it was a whole
Except
shutout.
for Cheetah.
Oh yeah, that's
what was up with that?
So yeah, he ended up losing to
Bio 6-0'd him
with Cheetah. Yeah,
Cheetah. I didn't even know Bio played with Cheetah.
I have seen it. I've definitely seen it. I didn't know he was actually thinking about using her.
Is that really that bad of a match?
Well, my guess is it's more unfamiliarity than probably a bad match. But
probably, yeah.
Because I would say Cheetah's strength is when you're primarily relying on trying to control space through projectiles, where she didn't give a fuck about those.
It just looked like he was just backing up, building meter, backing up until he got his trait.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is that if you have to chase Cheetah, because her mobility is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So I think if you have to chase her, it can be kind of annoying. Although Cheetah's, to me, her biggest problem seems to be like her trying to earn like damage from moves unless it's a jump in, to me it seems difficult. Like, because you have to land one of those command grabs to get like the damage. But you can only do that once they're airborne. So it's like...
She has to do a lot of those sweeps.
Yeah, those sweeps. Yeah, her damage comes from like sweeps and grabs and chip. Because once her trait is on, the chip goes up huge.
Right.
So she does that.
That sweep's annoying though. And if you start blocking that sweep, then she can do that instant air dive, and that does an absolute shit ton.
So do that, or she can do forward 3. Her forward 3 is really good. It's double hitting, big cartwheel.
Annoying, yeah. A lot of variety.
Yeah, there was. Robin's pretty interesting. He's someone that's certainly fluctuated. I know Hayate used to say he was one of Hayate, he's one of those guys where it's like, his takes are kind of goofy. Like, it used to be Robin was shit, he was shit, and then no, actually, I think he's super good now because Robin got a lot of buffs in one of the patches early, where he had a lot of consistency issues in some of his strings because they're really animated, so it would cause some issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got like the safe sweep, like his sweep is now safe. His forward 3 now he can like go farther. He can like control the range of it.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other things like that just to help beef him up a little bit. And I think he ultimately will always struggle against, hard projectile zoning because he doesn't really have an answer to it other than throwing that Birdarang out and trying to get that out and following it.
And that jumping air sword flippy thing, yeah.
Air sword flip, yeah.
He's an interesting character because like he doesn't really open you up too hard because all he's really got is sweep and throw as far as like trying to if someone's just playing defense.
Yeah, he's got a pretty decent overhead, like a 4-2. I think it's 4-2.
Overhead is sick, but
yeah, the low is where
by
it's
rule, like you just try not to never duck and you just eat sweeps and throws. But
yeah,
the problem is his pressure is sick. Like, you'll just never get him off you. Like it's just super annoying. Like because he can just cancel his shit into like Birdarang, and then you're just like, the fucking Birdarang. Now I got to block more of this shit, and then he'll cancel into something like he'll just do down 1 and you expect down 1-2, and then sometimes he does down 1-2 into like the swoop, which is super annoying. And then if you try and counter poke after down 1-2, the swoop's going to hit. But if you don't try and counter poke, then he's just going to stay on you. So a lot of it is just like when can I hit a button, and you just kind of block for eternity.
Right.
And you've got to do something eventually.
Is he going to do down 1 trait, like throw his Batarang out on the ground? He's
going to build a shit ton of meter on you, and then that's going to get annoying because he's got a really good meter burn roll, even if you get out and he's back in. And he's annoying, man.
A lot of his meter burn moves are really safe, too, so it's like his uppercut, which is incredibly fast. He can make it safe. But you have to interrupt it because he does good damage. You have to interrupt it with a 6-frame move. Or even I think a 7-frame move will do it. But it's tough. It's really tough in the heat of the moment to actually react on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and his jump is good. His jump is shallow, and he's got
jump 3 is so dumb.
Yeah,
his attacks are super good.
Yeah, his jump is really shallow, so yeah, his jump ins will always land. Very difficult to anti-air. And he has a great anti-air.
That's another thing, yeah.
Yeah, he has a great anti-air himself. His down 2 is like 8 frames, super far.
He's very oppressive once he gets in.
Right.
It's not that he's going to do massive damage if you play defense. It's just like you just can't do much.
Just annoying, yeah.
Yeah. So, good for him. What else happened? There was Tekken Master. Who beat him?
Tekken Master lost to Honeybee early. So, like, Tekken Master entered in losers top 8. And then he was eliminated by Honeybee in the first round. Hayate put him in losers early, so.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Pretty convincingly, a 3-0, so.
Oh, that's right. Tekken Master was using Starfire.
Mm-hmm.
That's another... God, I love seeing that. Just, I'm going to just derp you out with Starfire. And then I think he beat him like 3-1.
It's just 3-0 here.
Was it 3-0?
That's what it says.
Wow.
Man.
That's great. Fuck that bitch.
Whoa. I don't tolerate that kind of language. It's fine.
Language?
Yeah.
What are we on? CNN? Like, this is a podcast. We can say fuckery.
Well, fuckery. I wouldn't say fuckery.
Fuckery. That's a good one. You know what term I always want to use, but I always forget. I just want to call someone a fuck muppet. You're a fucking fuck muppet, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, so what is that? So, like, what's a fuck muppet? Like, is that like a muppet who is particularly fucky?
I don't know. You can... exactly.
Okay.
It's just insulting. You're a muppet that fucks. Or you're someone that... Or you're a muppet that maybe gets fucked. It's your own... All it does is just make you... I'm a fucking fuck muppet?
Of all the Muppets, who fucks? Kermit,
man.
Yeah, obviously. What about Gonzo the Great?
Gonzo fucks him of chickens.
Yeah, he does. That's what I mean. Yeah, look at him. Yeah, he's fine.
He's a little weird.
Animal?
I don't think he really... maybe.
Yeah, no, Fozzie definitely.
Girls like Animal.
They do. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
They just... Something's attractive about Animal.
He's got the dirty grunge appeal. Yeah, look at him.
He just does his thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, compared to like Rolf.
No girls like Fonzie. He's like a chode.
No, not Fonzie, Fozzie.
Fonzie.
The Fonzie is, Arthur Fonzarelli. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Hey, Mrs. C. Yeah, not that. Yeah.
Poor Fozzie can't ever get laid.
Yeah, he does not fuck. He does not. Sorry, folks.
He's a fucking Muppet.
What's your tier list for Muppet films?
Christmas Carol's good.
Muppets to me, the top two are Muppet Treasure Island and the Muppets, like the one that came out in like 2011.
I don't think I saw that one.
That was pretty good. Yeah, Jason Segel, who's the guy from How I Met Your Mother and a bunch of Judd Apatow comedies, he actually wrote it. He's a huge Muppets fan.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote it and starred in it. And they got one of the members of the Flight of the Conchords to do the music, which won an Oscar for that. It was pretty interesting. It won an Oscar for Best Original Song, yeah.
No shit.
The movie's pretty interesting. It's about a human guy who loved the Muppets and wants them to get back together for the sake of his brother, who's an actual Muppet. And it makes no sense in a fun way. Like his brother's a Muppet, but like
I love the Muppets, man.
Yeah,
kids, I don't know why they're not as popular. I think they were the Muppet Show all the time.
Well, that's the thing. I think they're just gone. Like when we were, when you were a kid, obviously you had the Muppet Show. I had Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies was fucking good.
Yeah.
I don't know who was doing that, writing that show, but they were on some shrooms or something.
Probably. I mean, who wasn't?
Muppet Babies was trippy, man.
To me, it seems like when you're writing like a show like that, right, where it's like a soulless corporate enterprise making you like make a show of their characters or whatever. I imagine you just got to be like, look, man, who fucking cares? Like, let's do that. Like, if you've ever watched like some He-Man or G.I. Joe, it's like, whoa, like,
yeah.
All right. Or like a recent one. So so they have a cartoon called Sonic Boom, which is an adaptation of it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Really?
And it's like a different take on it. Like they got different designs and stuff like that. But if you watch, like, you can look at, like, YouTube compilations or whatnot. Like, it's just batshit. Like, they don't care, like, that it makes no sense or what's going on, or they'll break the fourth wall or what. Like, they don't care. And no one seems to be paying attention, so they just do it anyway. So it has a huge cult following because of that.
There's some really bad, like, shows I used to watch as a kid that I just liked. They were, like, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show was really bad.
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah, that was
the
bad.
Mario Brothers. It had a rap.
Captain N was really bad.
Whoa, the Game Master?
That was really bad. God, the Double Dragon cartoon was super
my
fucking
God,
bad.
The Double Dragon cartoon. I love, ironically, me and 16-Bit will always joke about. Did you ever play the Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls, which is like the adaptation of the TV show game?
It's a fighting game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so bad, but it's so good at the same time. I remember watching the show and like...
It's so bad.
When you think about Double Dragon, nothing that you think about Double Dragon is in that show. So first of all, it's a failure on that level. Super corny, like... It's like all three of those shows I would watch religiously, but just because I just wanted to like support... Yeah, it's like a video game,
But I would always like bring my suitcase of Ninja Turtles with me and play with the Ninja Turtles while it was on.
You knew it was actually good. Yeah, you knew it was actually good, but
Anyway, we should probably talk about Injustice.
I think people like hearing about that
shit. I could talk about that shit all day.
Yeah. So the other thing, of course, that would happen was War of the Gods. That was on Sunday. With a big upset. Sonic doesn't enter him that often, so this was kind of a nice surprise.
That is weird. Why did he enter this week?
I don't know. I really don't know. But he entered this week. I wonder maybe because he didn't go to Viennality. Maybe he had some time. Anyways, so he entered the tournament, but he ended up making top 8. But he made top 8 in losers because he got put out in winners by Hero Killer Stain, aka Pretty Flacco, playing Cyborg. 3-0'd him.
Dude, Cyborg is fucking cheap, dude. Especially Flacco's.
We were talking about Cyborg not so long because he made top 8 losers a couple weeks ago. Yeah, something like that. And he did it again this time. Now he's in winners.
3-0 Sonic Fox.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I think it was M2 Dave. He like posted on TYM. He was like, Sonic Fox just lost 3-0 to Cyborg. Words I thought I would never say in my life, or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god, dude! Like,
yeah.
Flacco's fucking good. Like, I've played him online a couple times, and it's like, I mean, it's not exactly a fun matchup for me.
No, I would imagine not.
But I wasn't really surprised because I think he beat Forever King too. Because I think Forever King tweeted out like, "Oh, I got this dude's got the best fucking Cyborg by far," or something like that. I was like, he must have beat Forever King. I don't know if he did or not.
I can actually look that up.
The fact that King would endorse him like that, I was like, he must have beat him or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And
he did,
so,
yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, and then when he played Sonic Fox and he picked Starfire, I was just like, dude, Flacco ain't gonna give a fuck about Starfire. Like, you don't think he knows what to do? Like, oh, Jesus, gonna fucking air shot her to death. Like, what is she gonna do?
I mean, like I said when we were talking about Cyborg, when we first brought him up, a couple weeks ago, they really did add a few things to Cyborg's overall tools, but it kind of solved the issue he had.
That trait with the fast recovery is such a big deal.
Fast recovery trait and down and up shots, like diagonal up, diagonal down shots. Like,
oh, you're talking about just in general for Cyborg overall. I was talking about just the patch.
Oh, well, that helped too.
That last patch where he got the increased recovery.
The faster trait and the sweep. The Cyborg sweep.
Oh, the wake up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were really good.
Yeah, those are good buffs. And his 3-2 now is like, or his 2, I think it's 2-3, where like he does a knee and then he just juts his giant fist out, and it's like impossible to jump over.
Yeah.
All that combined, when you fight like him against a zoning character now, it's like he can stand at a certain range, and if he jumps, he's going to tag you, and you can't tag him. And then if he's on the ground, he's out chipping you too, because his projectile does like 9%.
Super, super annoying.
Yeah, huge damage, and then chip on block is like 3%. So, and he can delay it. He can delay his fireball. He can dash cancel out of it. Has a lot of ways to make you kind of squirm, and then his damage now isn't bad like it used to be. It now is, if he hits an air hit, he's just going to convert it pretty significantly. So his damage isn't bad. He's got ways to cover angles that he didn't before. He out-damages most projectiles in the game. I don't see any reason why he'd be like this terrible character that you can't use. It's just not, someone pointed out that the community is so small that there's not really enough people to.
I think that's a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, to get the less represented characters really out there. Because I played Flacco because he's in our local scene, and I don't attend as much. I'm a little more busy these days, but when I did, he was probably one of the better players there. And I always thought his Cyborg was really good. And if he kept playing, I would not be surprised if he ended up being pretty damn good. Turns out that was the case. And because I know he was futzing around with like Red Hood and other characters like that, and I thought you stick with Cyborg, man. It's not bad, and I don't think he's that bad that you'd have to really. Because like the other thing was like in other games, like some of his matchups were just like in Injustice 1 is like you go up against like an Aquaman, it's like
Injustice 1, yeah, he just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, because he would, if he jump moves, he only had the air fireball that went straight. So
Yeah,
it's like he jumped the move, but he wouldn't really, and his jump is shallow, so it's not like he's gaining much ground by doing it either.
yeah. The diagonal down shot is huge, just huge, so huge. In the meter burn up shot where he shoots up and then straight, like that's just hey, I'm gonna just dominate footsies right now.
Yeah, because
both jump diagonal down shot and then the meter burn straight shot from the ground. It's just like, no, you can't get in.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's no sir. Like you stay down. And I think to me, because the reason I like what Flacco does is a lot of like the Cyborg players would get in this mindset of I have to learn how to do like the instant air, like straight one.
That is such. I mean, Flacco does that too, but he does it tastefully.
Yeah, he does. Well, because I remember I would tell him like I don't really think that like that is the juice. Like to me, the juice is like you get into a certain range and it's like I now have to guess which fireball he's going to do because I can't move in unless he, because his ground fireball you can obviously see it, but for the folks at home, it hits mid unlike most projectiles in the game. So you can't duck it. You're just gonna have to take the chip most of the time. Unless you
It's
try.
one of the very few that hits mid.
Yeah, and then his meter burn one, he can shoot diagonally up or straight across the screen, and the meter burn version covers the spot that he misses. So if he shoots diagonally up, he meter burns. He shoots straight. If he shoots straight and meter burns, he shoots diagonally up. So he can really cover wherever he wants to be.
Right.
Wherever you want to be, I should say.
I think the biggest thing I noticed with Flacco is how good he's gotten with the grapple. Because I played him early on, like in Justice, and I would do pretty good against him. And then like the past few times I played him, it was mainly that fucking grapple. Like he would just grapple like I couldn't stop him. I couldn't catch him because he'd meter burn, roll, and then grapple out. Or he'd do like a safe string and then just grapple out. And it's just like, what do I do about the grapple? So then like you start kind of overextending to beat the grapple, but then you get hit by like, down one fucking uppercut. And like then you're eating a shit ton just trying to chase him down. And God, it's just so annoying. And if you're patient, then he gets trade out, and the trade is going to do multiple things for him. It's going to
tracks you.
First of all, it's going to track you. It's going to set up even more ship. Or if he needs to make a comeback, that trait comes out and he can dash in and follow it up and start setting up his offense.
Right.
So the recovery, I think that was the biggest thing was that trait with the increased recovery, because that set up, because it used to just be like, if he'd get like a combo, he could set it up, and maybe he'd get a little bit of extra chip damage with it. He wasn't
now
really.
He can just use it.
Now he just does it.
Yeah,
Like when he hits with almost anything, he can just do it now.
And it doesn't. It also should note it doesn't have to go the whole way through. Once it's past a certain point, he can get hit. It's still coming out.
And he can combo off of it so much easier
it's a big
now.
Bounce. Yeah, it's a huge bounce. So like he gets a back three, or something. He's gonna get damage basically.
Yeah. It's huge. I played him. Like the day before he played in the last War of the Gods. I don't think he knew it was me though. It was under my alias.
Oh, you have an alias?
Yeah, and he was beating me pretty good. I was like getting games here and there, and like he went AFK for a second, and I was like, man, I'm fucking going in. Fuck this. I need a W. Fuck. And then like the next game, like he won, and then he like left, and he was like, "Oh, you're a scumbag. You beat me when I wasn't. You clearly saw that I stopped playing." I was like, "Damn, man. Like, can I get a win? Shit. Like I'm playing fucking Leonardo against Cyborg. Cut me some slack.
Quit being an online scumbag, man.
God,
is that hard?"
And then but I was really happy to see him beat Sonic 3-0. I was like, oh, that makes me feel so much better.
Well, in lieu of, what we talked about last week, it's kind of funny, comeuppance-wise, like, oh, I can't play the game because the top tiers are so oppressive and this game sucks and blah, blah, and Cyborg comes rocks your shit in. It's pretty funny.
This community is small, and there's so much shit in the game that we really don't know about yet. There's so much. It's great. I just wish we could keep playing it and people would stop shitting on it, but that's I think we will. Hopefully we will. I think people are still in the state of NRS is going to announce something soon. I think people are still in denial. Like, oh, we're going to get another game, like, come May. Like, I bet at EVO, NRS is going to announce something.
Yeah, we still are, in that sort of phase.
And, so we're still not past that fact, I think. And we're still just we're going to get another game next year. Let's just shit on Injustice for now. I don't know, I'm just being negative. Anyway. I think, that's great. Sonic Fox. Yeah, I think Tweety posted. Sonic Fox posted that he was gonna try and get Starfire nerfed by picking her and just mopping everyone up with her. And then he Tweety posted that, and then immediately after that, then enters War of the Gods, gets 3-0 by Cyborg.
Well, it is funny because. They're going to be playing in the first match of losers, Sonic and Tweety.
I don't know. I don't know if Tweety should pick Starfire on Cyborg.
No, not Flacco. He's going to play Sonic.
Oh, Tweety and Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Well, so that
That is
gonna
going to be
happen.
juicy.
because that match has been skipped the past two
match
events.
is tomorrow night, so we're
That
going
is
to be
tomorrow
talking
night,
about
yeah.
something in the future tense, and people are already actually going to be seeing it.
Yeah,
So we're
But hey,
excited for it.
yeah, we are excited. Yeah.
But everyone listening to it's probably like, yeah, we already know what happened.
Damn future people.
Yeah. That is going to be awesome. I don't know who he's going to pick. I guess there's no point in speculating it because it's going to be in the past.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah. That's juicy. There's juicy stuff, man. Foxy's out. He's gone.
Yeah, so Foxy at Viennality ended up getting 9th. He lost to KP and Happypow. And then today, I think it was just today, where he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not competing in the Injustice 2 circuit anymore."
He's had a bad attitude. I think it's time. He needs a break.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly just doesn't care. So it's like, why continue?
I remember watching him play against KP, and like he's using Deadshot. And I'm just like, he's got a really good Batman, like really good. I'm like, why the hell is he using Deadshot? Like, I mean, Deadshot's just not that great, and he's not bad, but he's just not that great anymore. Especially when your other character is Batman. And
Yeah,
then,
I didn't get it.
when he plays KP, like he dropped I don't know how many combos, and it just
Yeah, I just don't think he's been playing. I just think he's playing Dragon Ball or whatever, and
it looked like he was just off. Like it looked like he was playing online. His combos, he was just doing them too early, and it's just like, dang, dude, did you not like warm up offline at all?
probably not, honestly.
Cause yeah, like he just dropped combos, and then the game winning combo I think he was going to have on KP, or at least close to, he just dropped. He got a grapple in the corner, and then KP just jabbed him into super and killed him. And I was like, damn, man, like you lost because you're dropping shit. I was like, what? A, you're using Deadshot, which just is weird, and then B, your Batman just looks off when I know it's a lot better than what he was doing.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, I will give props. Like we've always said, like if you don't like it, quit. Well, he did. So, I guess that's something. He was kind of far behind in points anyway. Like he won. He was gonna have to make like the last chance qualifier or something to really make it.
He's a great player, but I do think I think he does need to take a step back, because I think he's getting too close. And it's like some bitterness is festering in him for some reason. Because the dude always makes it from the European side. He's pretty much the best NRS player in Europe, like hands down. And then
I think that's fair to say.
But there's that glimmer in his eye isn't there anymore. The
glimmer in his eye.
He doesn't look like he's having fun. Doesn't look like he's having as much fun. He looks a little like too entitled now, and I think he needs to take a step back away from the game, do some other stuff, and then I think in time, like you get the itch again, and then you remember how good it feels to play, and that competition gets back in your system, and then I think he'll be stronger once he comes back. But I think it's good he takes a break.
Yeah, I mean, as I think Mustard pointed out on Twitter, like the EU, like economy-wise, it's just terrible.
Oh, really?
All that Brexit bullshit.
So
like it's just kind of tough, and especially if you're not making money on those flights in, because like Foxy, like an MKX would place like top 3 or something in most of the tournaments that he'd enter, so he'd make a little bit of change. But now he's not, so it's like, and there's, like I said, there's pretty much no way he'd make it in points except for maybe the last chance qualifier, because if you look at his play, it's not good enough. Like, it's not going to get him to a point where he could make, first place or something. So he has to win that last chance qualifier. And the stress of that probably just, to him, isn't worth it. Which, that's cool. At least you can just say, I bow out. That's something.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Good for him. Take a step back. Take a breather. it's good. It's good to do that.
A lot of people wouldn't.
So I like you said, I'd rather him take a step back and reassess things. If it's too risky to travel overseas, then yeah, like it's too much pressure. Then you're gonna put too much pressure on yourself. You're gonna end up losing, and then you're just gonna be resentful of the whole thing. And then, so yeah, take a step back, relax, get your life in order, save up some cash, get your dick sucked, whatever you want. And then
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Wait, hang on. Hey, I was half listening, and then I heard that. Wait, what?
Yeah, that'll make you feel good too.
So what you're implying is that he should go find a nice lass
Yeah,
and just have a good time, and that's all he needs.
yeah.
Get
Get some
out of
fish and chips.
Now that's just stereotyping. I don't approve of that on this show.
Um,
Some shepherd's pie.
get one of those furry hats.
Furry hats.
Yeah, that the guards have.
I don't think everyday people wear those. I think that's just a guard thing. Jesus. Well, clearly we don't know what we're talking about with regards to United Kingdom culture. But
England's in the World Cup.
they
They're
are.
still in it.
That's true. I believe France made the finals today.
Yeah, this is going to be another thing where by the time this gets out, England
The World
might not
Cup.
be in it.
Yeah, that's true. So we better, we're saying this from the time of the past, but in the future,
Right.
yeah, something might
I
happen.
hope I'm hoping England wins. I don't think they've never won a World Cup. They invented the damn game of soccer and they've never won.
Oh, footy? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't watch soccer. I just know what's happening because of Twitter.
It's good. It's weird the U.S. isn't good at soccer. Actually,
Nor cares about it. Like, I don't think they care about it. I mean, because that is the fucking sport in most countries.
I don't think I don't think the U.S. is supposed to be good at soccer. I think
Isn't that why we
we
invented
already have
baseball?
all of our own shit.
Isn't that why we invented baseball? Because we didn't want to move.
We didn't want to move.
Yeah, we didn't want to move that much. Like, baseball is largely a lethargic sport. Like, you're going to stay in one spot most of the time. There's a little bit of running, but, like, for the most part, it's like, all right, we're chilling out.
Oh, you can't say that about football or basketball.
That's true. But, like, baseball is, one of, the oldest sport that we have in America. Maybe that's why. They had soccer, but we was like, it's too much moving.
I don't think we're supposed to be good at soccer. I think it's the world sport, and it's like the one thing the U.S. doesn't meddle in, and the rest of the world gets to enjoy it.
Well, I know that I don't know. I know that our like the female soccer, like that, what's her, Hope Solo or whatever her name was.
Oh yeah.
She was good.
Well, that's Women's World Cup. That's different.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the women's cup is like they're good at soccer because they win like gold medals and stuff in the Olympics.
Right. Well, that's different. That's a totally different thing. That's the women.
Yeah, but I mean it's still soccer.
Yeah, but like the only teams the women's gotta beat are like China and
Wait, what?
there's just not that many women World Cup teams is what I'm saying.
Mm.
It's like all they gotta do is beat China and Japan typically.
So what you're telling me is there's no Latin American countries that enter this discussion at all.
I don't know of any Latin American countries that are like any good. I mean, yeah, the women's, yeah, they win fucking World Cups. I think we've won the most World Cups on the women's side. Our women are kick ass in World Cup.
To move on from soccer, our last episode had a pretty big TYM thread last week. It was like 80 responses or so. Because I did put out exclusively on TYM before I put the YouTube version up. So it was on TYM, and there was a lot of discussion in there. A lot of talk about, because we talked a lot in the last episode about like players going on Twitter and complaining and stuff like that, and then that spiraled into a lot of different discussions. And there was A topic that kept coming up that I thought was kind of strange was the idea that the reason people don't get excited for a game in the second year, even if another new game's not coming out, is because it's not built to last.
Well, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I find that to be a strange topic.
I think it's just we are used to a pattern of
Yeah.
2 years and then another game comes out.
Well, because I also don't know what built to last means, like in the terms like a video game. Like, does anyone make a video game and go like, well, they're gonna play this for, can only be played for like a year and a half, and then it just breaks, like it just breaks.
I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, or like, the idea is like, well, Melee was a game that was built to last, and it's like, well, no, it wasn't built to last. It was built to just be a fun party game. This happened to be a good fighting game. Like that's how most of these are. Like ST was made in like 6 months, maybe less.
Right.
It's not like they spent a lot of time making this masterpiece. It just is what it is. And it's full of crazy horse shit. And people just play it because there was nothing else. Like, if you wanted to play that specific style of Street Fighter 2, there was just nothing else.
Right.
It was like, you had to stick with that. And then, so I guess, because then the problem is that argument then spirals into, like, I think Hayate leapt in and was just like, I don't think this game just has that much depth.
I don't know about that. I did see what he was saying. He was saying, like, a game like Melee is very free-flowing with the movement.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a valid point.
Movement is always the number one thing in any fighter that's going to add a lot to every part of the game. The zoning game, the neutral game, all that stuff is mobility. And if mobility's toned down significantly, you're going to notice a lot of things not coming into play. Like, we see this in Dragon Ball FighterZ right now. Dragon Ball FighterZ doesn't have the greatest mobility in the world. So it's like everyone kind of plays at the same range, stuff like that. It's not, as far as like the movement goes, it just changed a lot of things. And Injustice has very stilted movement. It's hard to deny that.
I just think there's a lot of nuance in Injustice, and I don't think we've even come close to tapping that. Maybe we're at 50%. There's so much nuance. We just saw fucking Cyborg 3-0 Sonic Fox.
We did, yeah.
This game doesn't have depth.
Well, I guess to be fair, depth doesn't necessarily mean one character beats the other.
I mean, that just shows how much unexplored shit there is.
Well, I actually thought your point earlier when you were talking about how Honeybee and Happypow play Flash completely differently was a good example of going against what, the idea is that they don't have depth and stuff like that. There's certainly characters that are like, they do this thing and they do it extremely well, and if they don't, it's not a very good match for them. But there's still nuance in that type of interaction, because a lot of people talk about the matchups in the game in absolutes. Like if you are Captain Cold, for example, they'll say like, well, he kind of gets zoned out, so he obviously completely loses that matchup. It's not even worth picking him. And that might necessarily be true. Like, I mean, they were just talking about like Captain Cold, like, again, a mechanic he's had since the beginning of the game. It's not a shocker that he has this. The idea that when he gets new levels of his cryo gun, his projectile gets way faster.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about like, oh yeah, now he's out zoning people when he gets, the grapple up. And it's like, well, he always had that. So what were you guys doing?
Right.
And the reality is they just weren't paying enough attention. Starfire is a great example.
Right.
No one thought a lot about Starfire for a long time until they did. End of story. Like, it's just, that's it. So I think, I think it goes back to what I mentioned last week, where it was like, yes, the way the game works with the bad walk speed, the huge stages, the flopping after you lose, it's always going to favor a certain type of play of character style. But it just favors it. It's not the ultimate thing that defines the game, I think.
You go back to like ST, like there's nothing really that's not like, what's the difference? ST has stood the test of time.
It has. Third Strike has stood the test of time.
They still find shit in ST and stuff like.
Yeah, I brought this point up when I was applying to the thread. To me, a fighting game it's hard to make it to the point where there is no depth. It's just there's so many variables at play that eventually you're going to find weird shit eventually that will just
I've played
totally
a lot.
crack it open.
Yeah, I've played a lot of fighting games. I'm saying to the community, like we're 50% at best as far as finding all the shit.
Yeah, at best. I mean, this is we're in a day and age where teenage, Ninja Turtles tournament fighters and Sailor Moon S have come back into legitimate tournament play as kind of, what we thought of as kind of whack Super Nintendo cash-ins. Turns out they're just fun to play. Like, there's just a bunch of goofy crap in it. Because I think, again, it's unavoidable, I think. Like, you just can't make so many variables in the game, especially with NRS where they put a bunch of goofy stuff in there.
It's only
because it looks cool, yeah.
Yeah, like the game's only going to be boring to you when you decide it's boring. Like when you just think that you know it all and you don't think that you can find anything else, then yeah, you're going to think it's boring. But I guarantee you, if this community was bigger and there was multiple people playing your character and you saw what other people were doing, then they would be coming up with different stuff that you hadn't thought of before. It's just this community's small. There's usually only one or two people playing a character, and then they go through their progressions. They find, they use their creative juices to find out what they can find, and it works pretty good. And it gets to a point where they hit a wall and they don't know what to do anymore, and they've put all this work into it, and it's just your brain can only think of so many different things. And then you can always find new stuff. Like if someone picks up, like you said with the Flash thing, if someone picks up Red Hood, they could be doing different stuff than what, Sonic Fox or whoever the hell. There's so much. It's just not even a question that there's so much more to me that I can barely articulate. Like what? It's just mind-boggling. Like there's things with Leonardo I was looking at just yesterday. That I was just like, I was like, I could use this trait, in this situation, in this wake up. Like I was looking at Starfire, and I was like, I can actually use Donnie to blow up her wake up Tarmarian charge, and that covers her backdash, the Tarmarian charge. And I was trying to find like a spacing where it would also stuff like her hair flip, and I was like, oh man, I was like, this is actually like there's like, come on, like you can't think of anything else. I don't know. I'm still finding shit. I still find like it's only as boring as you want to make it.
Well, you bring a good point of like the way like characters have been explored. Like you could just look at like the character select right now and be like, oh, there's like literally like 2 cheetah players in the world. There's 1 or 2 Grodd players. There's even like a character like Atrocitus. There's like a couple, or Red Hood, or Scarecrow. Mm-hmm. It's like 1 to 2 players, and one of them is they're both sort of on the outs. Like they're not going to be playing as much anymore. Sub-Zero, Raiden, Swamp Thing, like. And then I think also the problem is because there's not that many, we sort of have to rely on, the people that play them know what they're talking about. But I mean, that's a flawed approach.
Oh yeah.
Because, it's not always, I mean, if you and I listened to what the people who are supposed to know better said about Deathstroke, what would we have done? Played another character.
Uh-huh.
Because there's nothing to find. He's bad. But it just didn't match with reality. Like you have to do the digging yourself sometimes. And I understand that people feel the need, like, I think now in the way that we are, where it's like you have these 5 months where the tournaments are worth a lot of money, and the game just sort of stops evolving, I think, at that point. For that moment in time, almost. Because everyone's just trying to figure out the easiest path to victory, to get to the end. And it's during, like, the War of the Gods and the stuff that's actually a little more low-key, a little less, life and death is where the most interesting things happen. Like, as far as, like, playing a bunch of different characters or character like Cyborg getting top 8 or something like that. Because I feel like people are just exploring more and finding out what's good rather than obsessing on the victory, which I understand because they have to. But, that's just kind of how it goes, I think, for those 5 months or whatever. And then they're too burnt out to do anything else, so nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's what happens.
I just don't get why we can't have the attitude. So NRS has obviously stopped their 2-year pattern, 2-year game pattern. Like, this is an opportunity for you to dive even deeper into the game. But instead, we're just like, oh, the game's done. Like, we're still it's like I was saying earlier, we still have this mentality that a new game's coming, and this game's done. It's like, no, we don't know when the next new game is. How about like going even deeper into this game? Like, that's what I don't get. Why aren't we doing that? Like, this game is not even close. Like, I mean, I've said it 1,000 times, but I mean, I'm just speaking from experience, man. I've played Tekken, I've played Soul Calibur, I've played some Smash Brothers, I've played Guilty Gear. I've played a lot, and time and time again, as soon as you think that you found it is when people pass you up. As soon as you think you know it all is when someone like, if I'm playing with like Leonardo and I think I found it all and I just keep doing the same shit, someone's going to do what I'm doing. They're going to see me, and then they're going to look at some stuff and they're going to be like, well, he doesn't use this and this is pretty good. Like, why doesn't he ever do it? So they're going to use what I have, and then they're going to adopt their own stuff, and then they're just going to be better than you because you think you know everything. Like, you got to keep looking. You got to keep finding stuff out. There's just, because people hit to your patterns, and they're gonna get hip to your set play. They're gonna get hip to your stuff, and you're just gonna be like, well, this is it. This is boring. Everything's done. Like, nah, not really.
Well, I guess then the argument would be like, well, what if I don't fucking like it?
Like what?
The game.
Well, that's you. That's your problem.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, what if that's the issue? Like, I think that's, what you'd obviously have to confront is that, yes, that is the ultimate issue. I don't like playing it. And we've talked about how, like, the unfortunate thing about playing fighting games for a long time is that, playing a game for many, 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 many hours, you don't like it. You get sick of it. You get bored of it. You want to move on. It's human nature. It's now luckily they're a little more blessed that the online is good, that you can play people a lot. But like, I remember when I was playing Injustice 1, an hour 700 or whatever, and I'm just mainly in training, like, oh, I'm finding out how to beat Ares back 1-2. I'm just like, maybe my time could be better spent doing something else. But that's life, you just have to kind of power through it and keep going. So
you gotta have an aim. You gotta have a goal.
You do, I think. And
if you don't have a goal, then yeah, you're done. But you gotta make sure that you're striving towards something. And if you aren't striving towards anything, then that's when you're idle and you suffer, and then you get bitter. So if you lose your aim, if you lose your trajectory, if you lose the sight of your goal, if you lose that motivation, then you're just done. Then you start to suffer, and that suffers turns into anger, and then the anger turns into bitterness, and then bitterness turns you into a person that doesn't want to do good in the world, or I guess not, or at least maybe not the world, but at least the community.
I feel like you were trying to quote Yoda, but you forgot midway through and just went on to your own thing.
This was my own thing, yeah. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering, or whatever it is.
I think that's what you were going for.
I like my version better.
Well, you are about Yoda's
I think
side,
the worst
so
is
sense.
bitterness.
Well, bitterness is cancer, like literally, like it is.
But you get bitter when you don't have an achievement to strive for.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you when you have nothing to go for.
But there's no end in sight. There's no new game on the horizon. So it's just all the more reason to set new goals.
The other problem with bitterness, I think, too, is it leads to, I don't want to say confusion, but I think a lack of clarity. Like, okay, so like let's segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about. On Twitter now, I'm seeing a bunch of, no one seems to be able to narrow down, like, okay, a lot of people are saying, game sucks right now, the meta of the game sucks right now, blah, blah, blah. But I can't seem to get a consistent answer as to why that would be the case. Like, you see so many different, first it was, the top tiers are boring. Okay, well, then you hear certain people say, is this the characters is too stupid. There's no neutral to be played. Okay, and then there's like, now I'm hearing, you can't stop characters from just doing whatever they want, and that's why the game's bad.
What?
And then it's like, but Starfire's top tier. So it's like, okay, so what is the problem? Like, it's that when it's bitterness that's just saying it, I feel like that it provides a really unclear example.
Have a discussion.
Like, there's
blatant blanket statements. That doesn't mean anything. Fuck your footsies moves. So what do you think a fucking fireball in Street Fighter is? That's fuck your footsies.
I mean, it is the ultimate. I mean, that's why in
fuck your Street Fighter moves have been in since the iteration of fucking competitive fighting games. So I don't. All these arguments are just
as far as
fighting games since the very beginning.
As far as I understand, Dalzim exists as a character to say "fuck your footsies."
Yeah,
like he just doesn't care. Like he just does what he does, and there it is. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like the issue of they don't play footsies or whatever. It's just I think people have to get in their mind. Okay, I don't like playing this game. There has to be a reason for it. It's this reason. It's that reason. It's blah, blah, blah reason. And then, human nature can't help to just repeat that ad nauseum. So we don't get like a real consensus. It's just a bunch of different vague things.
The worst is when top players say it. That's the worst. Like, look at Street Fighter V. Remember when Street Fighter V first came out and like Infiltration and Daigo were kind of shitting on it?
I don't think that ever went away. Exactly.
Like it's put a stain on the game since the beginning.
I see what you mean. Okay, I misunderstood. I see what you mean.
It's people look up to the top players. The top players have, in some ways, more power than the devs.
Almost, yeah, I would say so. I think that's fair to say.
So it's like, that's the worst part. I mean, we kind of harped on this last week, but it's just like the top players in our community would bark at NRS to make changes, and they would get their way because they would whine and complain, and they would essentially like almost hold fucking NRS hostage. Like, we're gonna shit on your game so bad no one's gonna play, and it's not only gonna affect people playing this game, it's gonna affect your sales in the next game. And so it's like, that's how fucked up our community is. Like, our top players just like, it's just like a lack of gratitude, I think.
Well, I guess I
not all.
I don't think you owe anybody anything. Like, gratitude is like one thing, but like I think what it is that lack of clarity leads to them, them being the devs and NRS, not knowing, okay, what is it you want? Do you want Starfire to not be as good, or do you think Flash is too... Like, I remember I saw Ultra David, who, is more of an outsider in the community as far as, like, he just pays attention from the outside, but he's like, yeah, I think Flash is supposed to be too good, or Starfire, I don't know. He's like, I don't know which one it is. Like,
yeah, we're all over the place.
No one seems to be able to narrow a consistent reason as to why it's bad. All we keep hearing is these kind of vague things that, and then end up, the unfortunate thing is they'll say it and it eventually ends up getting blown up in a tournament setting where it's like, oh man, or just something will happen goofy like that where it's like, oh man, Black Adam's killing the game, and Black Adam's just like nowhere to be seen.
Right.
He just didn't do anything. And then it's like, well, Starfire's killing the game. And it's like, well, then Cyborg beat the piss out of her. It's like every time you have a reason, it's like, but then they have a reason to show that maybe it's not just that. Maybe you're just not, Yeah, I think you're just right. I think people got conditioned to move on, and they just did, like, naturally.
I think it's just in the habit of the community to just complain and to hope, and maybe NRS will hook you up because it's happened. Because it's happened. It's happened in the past.
Yeah,
I think we got to go. This is I'm glad NRS it's stopped doing the pattern. It's like kind of like taking like a spoiled brat child and like just it's like okay you think you know it all like all right survive out here on your own then. You think it's so you think NRS you think this game is not good enough for you go play something else then. You're going to complain just as much probably in that game. And you're going to think it's great in the beginning, like, oh, everything makes sense. But the further you move up the ladder in that game, I guarantee you, like, whoever is complaining about Injustice 2, if they play a different game, the higher up that they get into being a top player in the next game, they're going to run into the same thing. They're going to run into the same roadblocks. Like, God, this is so dumb. Like, what can I do about this? Oh, this is just the fucking game. Like, this is...
Yeah, I think I've always called it the rude awakening. Like, in any competitive slide, like, you will find that quote-unquote rude awakening where you realize, like, oh, this is what you have to do. Like...
You're gonna run into a character that's just hard to deal with in every fucking game. There's not a single fucking game where everything is fucking perfectly fair. This character is the best in the game, and he's perfectly fine. Like you're never going to run into that.
Every fighter will come out and they're like, oh my God, the return of footsies, real honest play is back, whatever the fuck that means. And then, like, for example, like KOF 14 came out, right? And KOF is, my God, footsies, just staying on the ground, blah, blah. And Nakaruru's too good. And it's like, my God, get her out of the game. This game's dead. Game's dead. They got rid of Nakaruru, and then it's like, oh my God, Athena or Robert is too good. They're too good. Benamaru's too good. It's got to go. And then the Wednesday Night Fight players are like, this patch was so bad we don't even want to play the game anymore. Like, game sucks. And it's like, you're never consistent about any of these things.
Every game is going to have this shit.
Yes, it is, yeah. And I also, like, I don't also mean to imply that our games community is, like, that different from other ones, because they're all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you play Tekken. I'm sure just you can't get away from it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just the difference, I feel like, in Tekken and, like, NRS is, like, people will complain, but they'll still just play.
Yeah, they will play.
There's no threat to quit and go play something else.
Yeah, I think that would be the thing, too. Like, if it was just general bitching, like, I think then it's like, well, everybody does that. It's not really that big a deal. But when it's like, game is trash, I don't get why people play this, I'm going to go play something else, and then it's annoying. Then it's literally like, okay, well, do something about it.
Good, go.
Yeah.
Go see how great it is somewhere else. It ain't easy, man.
Yeah. I mean, what's weird is we even complain posthumously. Like, I just saw a thread today between our good friend Peanut, if you remember Lord Peanut, now retired, and Ominous, where Ominous was talking about, like, Catwoman being, like, broken in Justice 1, which is like, whoa, 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 whoa. To anybody that played it, I think, would be like, oh, what? And then it was like, yeah, well, her forward one was an overhead, and Cat Dash, you didn't have to use meterless, and she was broke, and obviously if the game had gone on long enough, people would see that, and it's like, that. What? Like, I thought, I saw that argument, I thought, that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
What was he saying? I don't understand.
Like, okay, so, like, he was talking about, like, well, Catwoman in that game, obviously has down one cat claws is safe, and forward one is an overhead, and yeah, her walk speed's okay, I guess, but then she still has, forward one overhead, and her 3-3 back 2 is still as good, and 1 forward 2, and 2 down 2, and all that stuff, and they were like, well, if people got better at that game, then people would know she was broke.
So they're saying Catwoman and Justice 1 was broke.
Yeah. Posthumously. Like, now the real rap is that, 16-bit downplayed, and she was way better than everybody thought. It didn't have the right player playing her. And then the greatest thing I heard was that if Samij and 16-bit played in Injustice 1, Samij would have proven to be a better Catwoman. And then the obvious answer would be, if 16-bit and Samij played Injustice 1, Smeagol would be playing Batgirl. He would not be playing Catwoman. Catwoman would not be. He would not like her anymore. I guarantee it.
It's a totally, completely different game.
Yeah, I think it's on the surface. It
The
does
weaknesses
look the same.
of Catwoman weren't just like, oh, her low whip was unsafe and her down two wasn't quite as good, and her backdash was like a normal backdash, and the big weakness is like there wasn't delayed get up. Like
Her wake ups sucked.
her wake ups were just not that good. Like
She
you
had
could stop all
to
of
do
them.
trait. Yeah, you had to do trait, and that wasn't even that good.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Yeah, and because the trait was completely different in Justice 1.
You
It did
also
not
have to
look
take
the
into
same.
context that there was just a shit ton of different characters in the game too.
Oh, I mean, definitely the way, like, I think I pointed out on Twitter, I'm like, you didn't have characters like, now we don't have characters like Sinestro, Raven, Martian, and Zod, those characters that are just crazy good footsies and zoning, like, put you into Vortex so good, like, and then even Catwoman, because her defense was so bad, would even suffer against characters like Doomsday and Lobo, who didn't care about any of that, who just got in and did shit. Nightwing and Deathstroke probably fucked with her. Bunch of characters. Batman probably did really great. Black Adam, it's just. I also think people underestimate how like having her walk speed be super good, and like having moves like back two and stuff changed her game significantly. Like,
The forward one string, like the last hit wasn't an overhead, which was actually a pretty big deal because when you're playing against Catwoman in Injustice 2, when she's doing that forward one string, like you kind of like in the first Injustice, you could kind of just mash down one during the string, and it would pretty much interrupt any stagger.
Yeah.
But in this game, it's like you can mash down one for a little bit, but then that last hit's an overhead, so you can't mash down one there.
Yeah.
So I mean that one little change makes a big difference in her pressure and all that stuff.
Yeah, and like I also think like, well, the reason no one did 1 forward 2 or 2 down 2 was because it was much better to do forward 1 or back 1.
Yeah, she had a better 50-50.
Yeah, you would just do that instead. Like, I think it's important to remember, Catwoman is noticeably toned down and buffed up in different ways than Injustice, and then Injustice itself is
totally different.
It's a different game.
It's
yeah,
not
like
even
Aquaman.
comparable.
Like, look at Aquaman in Injustice 1. Like, it's a completely different story. He is incredibly nerfed from 1 to 2 and was still broke when the game came out. Like,
yeah.
It's just a different. Black Adam's another one too. You would argue Black Adam compared to say 2013 Injustice, way different. Like, or like way worse. You could even argue. Like, remember when Black Adam in Injustice 1, like his dive kick was like plus 14, like plus 18, and you'd get like a guaranteed dash up into pressure on block and stuff. Like, it's context. I think. And so a lot of people avoid context when they complain about things. And like I said, they'll even go in the past and do it. Like, we now have to hear that Mortal Kombat you could contain people, but Injustice you can't. Like, what the fuck am I hearing?
Yeah, it's really weird. I think it's gratitude.
Gratitude. Huh?
Where's the gratitude, man? Damn.
I didn't think gratitude was that big a deal.
You can't be grateful for what we've got. I understand we always want to strive and become better. But man, can't we just take a moment and just breathe? And just be like, man, like just play a set, and after the set, and just be like, that was fun, win or lose. I actually have more fun losing, honestly.
Bullshit.
Nah, it's true.
I don't believe it.
When you lose, like, I don't know, I like it better because it's like, wow, I really need to work on X, Y, Z. But when I win, I'm just like, I just feel my ego getting bigger, and that's dangerous.
Well, I think also, you have like the advantage, I would argue, of being very like, it's not about monetary gain, it's not about status for you. It's just I just like to play because it's fun and it engages me. Like, that mindset is completely different, and I think that changes. If you are playing for money, yeah, it's going to be incredibly fucking stressful if you don't win, because now it's like, well, if this game was better, I would be winning more or something like that. You know what I mean? Because when the pressure's on, and people always feel like time equals money. So like, if I invest this much time, I'm going to be able to get money from this because I'm good at it. But then it's like, okay, but that's not actually the case. Like, if you don't actually understand what's happening, because you're just focused on one thing. You're not going to be any better. And I think a lot of people, that's their issue. They're not getting any better because they're not actually trying to understand what's to be good at the game. They are just kind of going along with what people say the meta is run by, and then they're not finding success, and then they get bitter, and then
you gotta stay away from the bad attitudes.
I think so, yeah.
You have to. It just bleeds into you, and then you forget. I mean, I've said it before, but I'll say it again because it's the truth. You gotta remember that you gotta have fun. It's the ultimate thing.
Yeah, they're if they're not having fun, that's fine, but yeah, I mean, we've always said too, don't ruin the fun for everybody else because you're not having fun. You know, that's ultimately, I think, the lesson people need to learn is like, because you know, the game is only as good as a lot of times the game is only as good as the community perceives it, unfortunately. And when because they did this during MKX, and I don't understand, like, if people they got the memory of a fucking fly, like they don't remember that that's what happened. Like, you remember how no one thought MKX, like, you didn't take a lot to be good at, had all these problems, wasn't worth playing at a certain point. And now it's like, well, man, remember back in the day when footsies were great and we had MK? Like,
so weird.
It's weird to me. Like, you weren't saying that before.
All I heard about during MK was how bad it was. And now we're looking back at MKX and it's just like, man, what a great game. Like, what?
Yeah, that's not even really to shit on MKX. Like, obviously my opinion's more negative, but that's not here nor there. It's just that there's no consistency to, like, what is good.
Right.
It's just, this is bad now. It's always been bad. And then the last game, whatever.
The game actually has, well, that just goes back to what we said. This Injustice 2 has got money involved. There's added pressure to it. So when you can't perform, when there's all this pressure on you to perform from the top players, honestly, I mean, it's not easy. It's hard to have fun when you have all that pressure on you. So that I can see. But I mean, you got to remember, you know, why you were playing to begin with, and then when you go back and you look at MKX, and then all of a sudden that pressure's gone, and there's no money incentive, there's no sponsor pressure, or there's no.
Oh yeah, shockingly, it's fun again, right?
Yeah, amazingly, MKX is more fun than Injustice.
I mean, MK9 is the biggest example of this.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother will be like, my God, MK9, the GOAT, and then it's like, but when we were playing it, we all had the same.
I fucking hated MK9 at the end. I was
you did play Scorpion.
Well, that's true too, but yeah. I think most people were just like, fuck that. Like, the top tier were just killing it. I mean, we're literally talking about how great MK9 was with fucking Cyrax doing fucking 100% unbreakable combo damage. That's great. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
And Cabal, like, doing 0 to 100, like, full screen control with a fireball immediately in your fucking face.
Like, what are we talking about? And we're complaining about fucking Starfire or fucking Black Adam?
Well, to be fair, it is all relative, and then, you know, what's good in one game is not necessarily great in the other. But I do think it's also important to note that you kind of played through what you thought was annoying. Most people do. Because with MK9, we didn't necessarily know another game was coming anytime soon. Like, there was no pattern back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, we just kept playing it. I mean, that game was played, I would say, heavily up until about 2013. Like, mid-2013. So again, it still had the 2-year cycle.
That
but
and the first Injustice was kind of shaky when it came out.
Oh, well, yeah, Injustice 1 definitely, man, that was a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, because we also have to remember that NRS, like, as far as, like, making a fighter that is, like, well-balanced and trying to be a, you know, serious fighting game and stuff like that, they don't have a lot of experience. They're 4 games in at this point.
Right.
And if you look at, say, like, Capcom's first 4 games, it's like Street Fighter 2. Okay, it's a fun game, but it's kind of a mess if you take it seriously. All the way up to ST, and then you have, like, Darkstalkers and Street Fighter Alpha 1, which are, like, ugh, like, oh, those are kind of messes too. Like, I mean, it didn't, and they didn't really nail it down until they'd get 3 or 4 iterations in.
Right.
It's tough, and it's not an easy process. So they've been growing, and I would say every game, you know, they improve on the mechanics of the previous one, in that they're not weird and goofy. Like MK9 not having any buffer system and making it really difficult to poke out of pressure, and like the armor not coming out but losing.
If you were playing MK9 for fucking money, people would be flipping.
There would be
fucking couches.
There would be dead people in the street.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Han Pete. What was?
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a screen name.
I think he just went by Han.
I think it was just by Han. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He a great Cyrex player from Chicago. Super cool guy. He was in a tournament. He was playing against this reptile player, and it was down to the last round. The reptile player was really giving him problems, and Han ended up missing something, and the reptile player went to punish with like a down 4 to win it or something, and he got an input bug and got standing 4.
Oh.
And then Pete just ended up just doing like an 80% unclashable combo, and the dude was done. The dude was out of sent the losers out of the tournament, one or the other.
Now that's something you kill yourself over.
And then it's like, imagine if you were fucking playing money for that game. Like,
yeah.
There's absolutely no way anyone would be. No, why do we look at these previous games? Well, that's my whole point. It's like,
yeah, it's the mindset.
We're not playing for any when there's no pressure on it, and the only reason to play that game is for fun. Then it's great. But when there's all this pressure on it, there's esports sponsors, there's money, might be able to go on TV. All of a sudden, this shit's stupid. This is broken. This is dumb. I mean, it's so fucking obvious. Just enjoy the game. Don't fucking shit on it.
Because people will then go like, well, if we
don't know when the next game is. Can you not try and ruin it for everyone? Like, we need to make this one last. Can you not shit on it?
I was going to say, if you don't take it serious, then, you know, if you're a person of influence, no one else is going to take it serious.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. And I think it is important to not, like, to lionize, like, these older games. Like, a lot of them are happy accidents. A lot of them are happy. Melee's a happy accident. Marvel 2 is the biggest happy accident that ever happened in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that game is just garbage put together in 4 months.
Street Fighter's a happy accident.
Street Fighter 2 is a happy accident. Like, none of Street Fighter 2 is like...
Street Fighter 2 is based on the engine from Final Fight.
It is, that's true.
No one knew. I mean, people knew it was going to be a fun game and it was going to make a lot of money. No one knew it was going to be
tournaments and all this other stuff. Yeah, that just wasn't a thing. It was just a fun game you play with your friend,
right,
at the arcade. It wasn't supposed to be this phenomenon. I want to say that only started with, like, you know, maybe Alpha 2 and onward, when they were having the big B3. Back then it was B3. It was Evo.
Mm-hmm.
When Alpha 2 and stuff was a big game there, and then it spiraled on from there. Street Fighter 3, was considered no good for a while. And stuff like that. I mean, and also, like, just times change, opinions change. Like, Third Strike, no one liked Third Strike.
Oh, in the U.S.,
yeah,
Street
nobody.
Fighter was done.
There is if you can look it up.
Third Strike, Street Fighter was done. No one played Street Fighter. Yeah, everyone was playing MVC2 or Tekken Tag.
You can look up, like, the Evo 2007. Back then, folks, you had to buy it on a DVD, believe it or not. And they had these interviews with the guys that placed top 8. And there's a famous one of 2007, Mike Watson, the owner of Super Arcade. Street Fighter OG, all that stuff. Getting interviewed for Street Fighter 3, and he's like, yeah, Mike Watson, I play Ken, and I play Third Strike because, I don't know why I play Third Strike. This game fucking sucks.
Everyone hated Third Strike.
Yeah, that was the attitude, I would argue, of most of the people playing it. Like, they were just, it's okay, it's whatever, it's a Street Fighter game, I guess we play it, I don't know.
I mean, that's why there was such a huge gap between Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4, because it didn't sell well in the U.S., and Capcom just thought, well, the Street Fighter thing's done.
That arcade machine, the CPS3 or whatever it was, that was a huge bomb.
Yeah.
Well, they only made Street Fighter 3 and I think Red Earth for the and they both sucked. in a figurative sense, not like competitively, but they weren't very good.
Yeah, and then people started playing it again, and I think like that big, Evo moment number 37 or whatever.
Oh, I mean that
that proved to Capcom like, oh, people still do like Street Fighter, and then lo and behold, bam, fucking Street Fighter 4 and the landscape changes.
Well, and just I don't know what it is about, the other side of the world, their culture or whatever, but they would just keep playing it even though, like, I mean, because, there's dedicated groups of those Japanese players that even play goofy fucking weird games. Like, oh, there's still a huge contingent in the modern age that plays Alpha 3. And the huge contingent that plays, what's it called? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and a huge contingent that'll play
They
Fist
have
of
a
the North
master
Star.
for everything. Like
They do, yeah.
They have like a grand master for almost every game. Like someone they have a person that can just blow up any game and just at the max. It's really. I was in Japan. There was this mom playing skee ball. Fucking skee ball, right? You just roll up the thing.
Rolled up thing.
The thing, the two corner ones that are worth like 3,000 or whatever, whatever the fuck.
500 or 3,000, depending. Yeah.
And if going for it's super risky because if you miss, you hit the zero. It rolls into the. This mom was so fucking good that she literally was hitting that corner thing like 80% of the time. It was fucking insane. There was a mom that mastered the fucking crane game. Now, to be fair, the crane games here in the U.S. are like, fucking bullshit, but...
Yeah, they are, yeah. Now, when you say mom, what are we talking about here?
Like, just moms. Moms.
Like had the stroller there. Moms.
Yeah.
Really?
Or just, their kid was, at
hanging
the
around,
arcade,
doing whatever,
stuff. There was like a crane game, and my friend was talking to the mom or whatever, and she's like, oh, I'm going to get this Pokemon. Well, she wasn't, saying it in English, obviously.
Was that with that accent, or because you're fucking
she just pretty much saying,
that's even worse.
and the translated to, I'm going to get this Pokemon doll in 4 tries. And she would move the crane, and she would move it over like a little bit, and then she'd move it over again a little bit, and then one more time, and then the fourth, and she was just moving it to where it was like, getting the ear properly set up to grab the fucking ear.
Mm-hmm. And
she fucking did it. I was just like, where the fuck ain't, man, Americans are fucking stupid. Like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
I wonder too, because you see those Japanese arcades where it's like, they are like, I want to say classy, but they're nice joints. Like, they're run by the companies that often make the games. Like, Sega has an arcade, Namco has an arcade. They're well lit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, when you went to arcades in the United States, a lot of times they were in a bingo hall somewhere, or in the back alley of someplace, and they weren't the safest place, mind you. It's just where kids went to play, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a place you hang out for the whole day unless you really liked the games. But I feel like because have you ever been to when I was in Chicago for C2E2, I went to there. That level. Was it level 271 or whatever? It's like a Namco specific arcade that has Tekken 7 and a bunch of their coin-op games. And it's just like a nice classy place. You can get food. There's a bar. It's well lit. It's like a professional place.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like arcades in Japan are a lot more like that versus in the back of a laundromat, there's 4 games.
But even, yeah, you're right. But even then.
Well, yeah, but you want to hang out at those kind of places, and it's
one in Chicago doesn't really do it justice.
I'll bet not. Yeah, I'll bet it doesn't. But I'm just saying that I think the difference is the culture is you can hang out there for many, many hours, and that's culturally that's what all your friends do. They go to the arcade, they play something.
It's a social gathering, yeah.
Yeah, it is a social gathering. And
it's I think a lot of
people exactly, yeah. And a lot of people do use I've gone to a lot of casuals, and a lot of people there don't have really any intention of I'm going to travel and play these games out of state and stuff like that. They just find it fun to hang out with these guys and play fighters.
There's no taboo for playing video games in Japan.
No.
Like there is in the U.S., even still today.
Well, as far as I understand, there kind of is, but not to the level of it was being they were being seen as acts of God and the devil worship and all that. It was just that's what nerds do. Whereas with here, it was this is corrupting children.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took the extra
mental disorder.
Yeah, it is exactly. Tipper Gore made it go that extra step where it was Mortal Kombat now is corrupting children, ripping heads off,
Yeah.
Whereas it never happened over there. So I think, and of course when you're in an environment that I would argue is a little more pleasant in the sense of like, oh, I don't have to worry about some guy's going to fucking smash my head into the thing because he didn't like that I threw him.
Yeah.
You kind of have the incentive of like, well, it's more fun to play.
That was wild back in the day.
I'll bet it was, yeah.
So I don't know if people know, but it's like back in the day in the arcades, like you could not throw. Like if you threw someone, you might have to fight in real life, especially in Street Fighter.
And we should put that the caveat is that throws are not blockable. And back in the day, you couldn't even tech a throw in the sense of like, okay, I'm taking damage no matter what. And also the throw range was obnoxious and unseeable. It was one button, no whiff animation. There's a lot of fucked up things about throws until they kind of got them right in some games down the road. But yeah, continue.
But yeah, like it was just seen as way too cheap. You're a piece of shit if you throw. And we fucking play, Street Fighter, like the old Street Fighters now, and that people don't even think about it. Like it's part of the game. Like we now know how to beat it. But it was like back in the day, no one had any fucking idea. So it was just considered super fucking cheap and stupid. I mean, even Mortal Kombat, if you threw people, which is fucking ridiculous. Because in Mortal Kombat, it's literally, you're unthrowable if you just hold down back. Like, you literally can't be thrown. In Mortal Kombat 1 all the way through fucking Ultimate. But, like, you would still, like, you might have to fight someone if they didn't hold down back and you accidentally threw them. Like, it's just fucking crazy.
Well, and then in Street Fighter, it was the opposite. Or maybe it's just ST. I know it is an ST. I don't know if it is through the whole Street Fighter 2. But I don't think you could tech throws obviously in ST, you couldn't tech the soften the throw if you were crouching. So low versus throw is actually like, okay, well, I'm going to take a huge amount of damage if I'm trying to block this low and they throw me. So like, again, like throws like it's just cheap. It's just cheap.
Yeah, it wasn't until ST where you could soften the throw. You could, but
you take some damage, but you land on your feet.
Right. But yeah, like all the way up, like it's Road Warrior, Championship Edition, Hyper Fighting. I mean, you fucking ate the whole damn throw and were on the ground, and
also like the characters could just force it like from like Blanca in the older games, like from a huge range could do that bite, and then he had like frame advantage afterwards, so he could just jump and do it again. Like Boxer's Balrog, Ken is knee bash. Well, that was his ST type thing. But yeah, like a lot of characters were just... Dalsum is the worst, probably. Like, his throw is like... He noogies, you throw up, he slides, and he throws you again. Like, it just... That is how that game kind of played. And again, I don't think... Obviously, I'm sure there's some bad eggs that hung around arcades in Japan, but I felt like they were a little more watched and like, okay, we're going to sort out the bad apples. Whereas I feel like in the United States, it was... kind of seen as like a niche subculture where they did police themselves.
Well, we talked about it before, but it's like Japan, like they just have more of a camaraderie. It's just like, hey, this thing's really cheap, and instead of haha, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone with it, it was it was more like, can you do anything about that? And the player's like, I'm not sure, and we're like, well, let's find out.
Well, have you ever seen that? Like Daigo has his own manga, right? That's about his life. And I read it, and he, helped write it, and he said, like, I would go to the arcades, and I would play, or, I'd go to the arcade and be playing, one of the older Street Fighters, and I had the console at home. So I would go home and test these things, and then go to the arcade and try it. And then I would, everyone would watch me and be like, oh, how does he do that? Blah, blah, blah. And then, obviously everyone would learn, and they'd get better over time. And that's how he describes him growing up in the arcades. Whereas, I think a lot of people and cliques happen, with human beings, but I think in the arcades, if you weren't in that clique of people, you weren't knowing what the fuck was going on. And so I think a lot of times that knowledge base is kind of, and we still do this to this day. If you're not in this so-and-so circle, you're not getting like the high tier of knowledge that you need to be successful. Therefore, the skill gap gets much wider because only a few certain people know how to do this, and then But, it's just real. I mean, when you were in Japan to go to arcades, did they seem like, this is kind of a nicer place?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what, from what I can see in, like, videos and stuff, that's what it appears to be to me.
It was like, It was a lot more than just kids. Like people, like there'd be grown ass businessmen
Like salarymen, like in their suits,
in their
probably,
suits,
there.
yeah, with like
Yeah.
fucking briefcase, and they go into the arcade and start playing games, and they'd be
Right.
fucking sick. They were
Yeah, because they
fucking
probably
sick.
get off work, get on the train, and then go to the arcade. Like,
Mhm.
so I think that kind of culture is like, whereas for us having fun is, well, you want to stay on the machine all the time. And then also we talked about how you have to be standing right next to the other person too, whereas in Japanese arcades, if you've seen them, you're playing a lot of times on the other side of the screen, not on the...
You're sitting down too.
Yes, you're sitting down, and it's on the other side of the...
There's a little
you don't
cigarette tray if you to smoke.
Yeah, or drink.
You got a cup holder, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't see the other person you're playing, so it's like... It is sort of simulating the sort of ranked or online feeling, I guess, because you don't see the other person, you just play them. And then also, I think Japan was first to it, and they really had it down, but I think they brought it to the United States in some form. Whereas, like, you know, like in Tekken and Soul Calibur, you had a card that you put in the machine.
Yeah, those are great.
That had all your personal
That
stuff
was
on
so
it.
cool in Tekken 5.
Right, yeah. And
That's cool.
And I remember, like, Daigo told the story of, like, he didn't really like Street Fighter 4 when he first played it, because he was going to be a professional Mahjong player. And he's like, I'm done with Street Fighter 4. I'm living in the Mahjong den, right? And then he was playing Street Fighter 4, and he's like, this is okay, it's alright. And then he got the card. And he was like, well, I want to be the best Ryu, because Ryu's my guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he just got addicted again. Because it was so much fun to just play that card and get to be the first rank and have your own Ryu, like he had his own costume. And he stopped playing Mahjong, and he brought with him a guy who worked at the Mahjong den who just seemed kind of cool, this guy named Bonchan, who has become a legend, you know, in this day and age. He was just some dude that played him with Mahjong at him at the den, and he brought him in, and he's like, look at this card. Like, you can pick your own character, and this is your card, and you get to take it everywhere. And, I mean, Injustice 2 has kind of simulated that with the gear. You know, you have your own insert character, whatnot, and it's close. It's not quite, but I feel like, again, it's that getting to the fun of the matter that they always seem to, you know, those players and stuff like that seem to find easier than, well, I'm not having fun because I'm not winning. Like, Tokido will get, like, 17th. Like, he won EVO, got second at Capcom Cup. He'll get, like, 32nd or whatever. He doesn't seem that emo. Like, he'll just get up and be like, all right, well, next time.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta imagine all the pressure in the world is on that guy.
You gotta let that melt. You gotta let that melt off of you.
Yeah, compare that to, say, Mena RD, who won Capcom Cup with Birdie, and now is actually struggling to even make top 8s now, and he's kind of lashing out a little bit. And it's just like, you can see one, I mean, he's obviously much younger, but one guy is handling the pressure, the other guy not so much. Or he's letting it affect his, you know, his overall fun factor, which, you know, that sucks.
I think it is a cultural thing. It's just, in the U.S., it's like you have to be justified.
That's a good way of putting it. Justification.
You have to be justified in wasting your time playing all these games. Otherwise, you're like an outcast to society. You're a weirdo who just plays video games all day, and you're not contributing to society. So there's this pressure. It's like, I got to prove to society that I'm playing these video games because I'm one of the best.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that, but that is kind of true, because you'll see, like, I always thought, like, NRS side of the thing is, like, something it just has this weird thing about, is the insecurity about, like, well, is the game legitimate? They'll always compare it to Street Fighter, always compare it to Tekken or whatever. And it's like, I don't think the Tekken players care if it's as good as Street Fighter. I think they just care that it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that insecurity of, like, well, if I'm sinking 1,000 hours into this or whatever, it's got to mean something. Like, it can't just be this bullshit game. So you try to think of reasons why it must be this thing, when it's like, well, you're comparing it to something completely different. And also, who cares about what other people think about it? You know, like, just play because you like it. And if you don't like it, don't play it. Like, I don't know why that's a really good explanation. Justification is for why you're doing this so much. I like that.
I don't know, like, I just feel like if you're playing a fighting game, and this isn't just fighting games, this is like anything in life. Like, you can just see, like, people light up and they really find their passion, or they really find something that they really enjoy. And if you lose that, then, like I said, it just goes back to the bitterness and stuff. If you can't justify it, then you just get bitter, and then bitter leads to you just wanting to shit on the world.
Oh yeah, definitely. It affects your worldview about anything, pretty much. I know. I kind of wrote about this. Like I was, in school, and I did graduate to be, in teaching. Like I have a degree in secondary education, but it's just, in the state of Arizona, it's just so shitty. And I knew even doing like my student teaching, like dude, I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be miserable if I do this. And it's just that justification thing where I was like, but I spent so much time doing this, and you got to have like a career, like a.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, but then I talk with a lot of people, and they're just like, well, what do you like to do? And I was like, well, I like writing and like doing podcasts and stuff. And they're like, well, why don't you just do that? Like, who cares?
Exactly.
Just have a job like everybody else has a job. And it's like, well, okay, now I do, and I do this, and I also I stopped pressuring myself to play fighting games so much. And it's just a lot better. I'm just in a better place. And it wasn't like 2014 doing, the same thing.
Something I went through was when I was in Chicago, when I was a tester for NRS. And that was a really high stress. That was super stressed. And because like 16-bit got the job there being QA, I don't know, and then he said, like, there's a spot open, Brad, you should come up here. And so, like, I had my career with fucking Charter Cable and stuff, like 4 or 5 years in. Like, I was, fucking moving up the corporate ladder and shit. And, like, within, like, a few months, like, I had to fucking drop everything and move to Chicago. I had to buy out of my lease. I fucking moved to Chicago, and I did all that, and it was great. It was fucking awesome. But after like the contract with NRS was up, then I was like, fuck. Like I gotta survive now. And I think one of the worst things is when you don't have like an aim or a purpose, like I was talking about earlier, and then you are like when you can't take care of yourself is when you like get in your darkest moment. I think that's when like bitterness and depression really starts kicking in. It's just like it was like I was a detriment to myself. I couldn't take care of myself because I wasn't making any fucking money. So I was a burden on myself. I couldn't take care of my own life, and then I had to rely on other people. And that's just the worst. It's like not only are you not taking care of yourself, but you're also
other people got to help you. Like it feels terrible.
Then your other people can't. You're preventing other people from helping themselves because they got to help you, and then you just feel like this huge piece of shit. And then it's just all like. And so when shit hit the fan and I couldn't fucking make it, now I had to come back to St. Louis, and it was just the worst feeling ever. I was like, God, like I fucking failed. Like. It was like it's like I came back with like my tail between my legs. I was like, God, that fucking sucked. Like I lost my career. There was a girl I was kind of seeing too, and I had to leave her, so that was gone. She like went off and got like fucking married to some fucking dude, and I was just like, holy fuck, man. Like how much did this just fuck up my life?
Jesus.
And that all came back to just like fucking I wasted so much with these fucking fighting games, and I was like, I can't. I was like, and I was still trying to hold on, like trying to play MKX, but there was just so much bitterness just festered inside. Like I was just terrible at the game, and so I took it like that's one of the reasons I took like a hiatus of like not really playing seriously anymore.
Yeah, because people like until Combo Breaker, I think people just didn't really know that you were playing. Like I think you were just gone until this podcast and Combo Breaker. It's just like, oh, he's kind of gone. Okay,
well, I was like, well, I guess I'll be like, like Guile said, maybe I'll just be a family man or something. So I got like my old job back, and I started moving up the corporate ladder, and I like started dating again. And I remember like there was this one date I was on, and the girl was just like, so where are you headed in life? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, what are you going to be doing the next, 5 to 10 years? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I was like, I guess I'll just be working. And like, I saw like on her face, it's like, this guy's got no direction. He's got no aim. He's got no trajectory in life. And that happened on like more than one occasion. I was like, this is a real fucking problem. And I was like, if I don't figure out like what I want to do with my life, like I'm not even going to be a family man because it's so transparent that I'm going to be, my whole purpose was like just to like find like a girl and just like, you know, be a family man. And it's like the worst turnoff for a girl is when she's your main purpose in life. It's like if you don't have your own main purpose in life, that, you know, you just don't have respect from the girl. So I was just like, damn. I was like, I can't even. I was like, if I don't find out what I want to fucking do, then no girl's gonna want to fucking be with me. So I was just like, so then it was like went full circle. I was just like, well, fuck, man. I was like, the thing that it makes. Oh, so then I like found like some friends that were like, you know, normal society people, and that's why. And then I would start doing like normal people stuff, like going out, you know, drinking, going to bars, going to like clubs, and just hanging out and partying, I guess. And you know, it was fun. It was cool. I was like, I get it. But it didn't compare to the rush of like playing fighting games. It really didn't. No, it's just like, I want to go back. I was like, I gotta fucking start playing games again because that's the thing that like makes me feel the most alive, I guess. So I don't know, like I don't even know how the fuck we got on all this shit.
I think we were talking about like the idea of it being like you have to justify your time wasted.
Yeah.
You know, your quote unquote time wasted. And not seeing it as time, you know, benefited. You know, it's like seeing it as a wasted time. Like, I know a lot of people would say if they don't do good, then it's like, well, all my time was fucking wasted. And then that's like, how do you not get bitter, you know, in that scenario? Like, clearly, if you don't think what you're doing is, you know, in any way valuable in any sort of way, then yes, it's a waste of time, but it doesn't have to be that way.
You got to find out why you like it so much. For me, I had multiple reasons.
And I think I'd be
I
okay.
took a huge step back from fighting games. I went the opposite direction of fighting games, and I found out like you got to go like a bat like for the first like couple of years when I moved back to St. Louis. I just wasn't fucking doing anything. I was just working. I go home. I fucking play Call of Duty, play a little bit of MKX, I guess, and just smoke weed.
Whoa.
And so that was, and I was just like a dark state, and I was like, this is just like blah. I was just a blob, and I was just depressed. I was bitter. I could feel it too. I was like, whenever I would talk, it was like always in the negative. I was like, I could never like be positive. That was like another thing I noticed like when I was like starting to go out on dates and shit. I was like, God, I was like, why is it I can't have a good time? Like, that's the great thing about girls. That's the greatest thing of this. They can just like they have that sixth sense, you know, that they have that emotional level that I don't think guys really tap into. Guys are all about like, you know, the basic needs of fucking survival. Guys are all about, I need a fucking shelter, I need food, just basics. And then like women are like really good at honing in on like the emotional shit. And then there was a friend of mine from work, he like got me on a date with this really good girl. She was hot. She was cool too. She was fucking awesome. And she was like 29, she was looking into. And I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity. But I was just fucked up. I was fucked up. I was so like bitter and negative still and no trajectory. And I was just like, man. And it just didn't last. And then the worst is like right after that didn't work out, she ended up hooking up with this other dude. And it was just like, this dude was, I don't know. He didn't look like shit to me. I was like, wow. I was like, it really is attitude. I was like, my attitude and my trajectory in life is so bad right now. Like, no one even wants to fucking really be around me. I was like, and so I don't know. So I was like, I got to get back to what I actually enjoy in life, and that just, so I don't know. We're getting pretty deep here, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we are. And we're actually getting towards the end of the show too. So I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Be happy in what you do, please. And if you're not happy, find out why.
Yeah. Be happy. Finding games is fun.
Bobby McFerrin once said, "Don't worry, be happy." I think we all need to listen to that a little bit more.
Stop worrying about all the pressure and just play.
So for our final segment, I said that I'd leave room for Q&A that we got from last week, and we actually did have one. I'm gonna pull it up now. Question was asked on our YouTube video, youtube.com/KingHippo42. People don't know, and they had to ask. I would like to know how both of you got started in the FGC and what is your biggest accomplishment in the FGC.
All right.
Well, Slips.
How did I get in the FGC? It would start off with Tekken, and man, like I was like, you know, when baseball started in like the 1800s and all the records that they were kept were like not really kept. I was at the dawn at FGC.
Right. I mean, yeah, you're an old man.
I'm super old. Like I was there pretty much from the beginning. So I didn't really, I guess how I got into it was Tekken, and I started off playing with some friends here in St. Louis, and we just started going to fucking tournaments.
And it's now evolved into this big thing. Because I think that's the one thing, I think if you come from like a humbler origin like that, is it's hard to believe how big it is now versus probably what it used to be.
Very, very distracting. It's been like when I look around now, I'm pretty for a long time I was in awe of what is this?
Like you used to go to like the original like KIT compared to like when you went in like 2014 or 2015, say like.
I went to the very first KIT when it was like in the venue I think was some like I don't even know what the fuck it was. It was not very big. It was like a back room of some sort. And we were playing Tekken Tag. I remember me and Sean and Conquerable, we ended up winning. He ended up getting first, I ended up getting second. So the very first KIT, St. Louis took care of business in Tekken. And it was funny, man. This dude that he was like this kid. I forgot why he was around us. He just really, I guess he really wanted to play us and stuff, and he stuck around. And he was just like, "Oh, what hotel you guys are at? What hotel are you guys at?" And we're at this Motel 6, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "Oh, I'd really like to play with and hang out with you guys." And we're like, "Sure, man, come on." He was young, maybe like, 15, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes in. We're all playing. We're all hanging out. He ends up spending the night, no big deal. And we're all sleeping. And all of a sudden, bam, the door gets kicked in. The fucking cops just barge in through the whole fucking place. And we're just like, what in the fuck is going? It was like a fucking SWAT thing. It was like, what in the fuck is going on? And apparently there was like this kidnapping epidemic going on that was happening in that. I guess it was Nashville. I can't remember where the fuck it was at. I think it was Nashville or Memphis. I can't remember what the first fucking KIT was at. It was so long ago.
Right.
And the cops fucking barge in and they grab the kid and they get him out of there, and the cops are looking at us and they're just like, "What the hell is going on in here? Who are you guys?" And we're just like, "Damn, man, like we're from St. Louis. We're here for a video game tournament." And they're just like, "What?" They're like, they thought we were full of shit. They're like, "You really expect us to buy that? Like, what are you really here for? Like, who, trying to get like interrogate us pretty much, and we were just like, no. And like my friend Sean, he was just like, yeah, like here's a stick. Like he showed us like the arcade stick, and they take a stick and they're like, we need you to open that up. Like, what do you have in there? Like, do you have any drugs? And he's like, no. He's like, can you open it? He's like, yeah. And he opens it, and they're just like, it's just wires and buttons. He's they're just like, you guys travel all the way from St. Louis to play a video game. And we're just like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, we did.
And like, so they found out where this kid was. Because for some reason we had his address or his name or something written down on like a piece of paper or something like that, and we had it in the dash of our car, and the cops saw it and they knew that like like that he was with us or something. It was some crazy investigative work that the cops did to find out that he was with us. It was crazy, dude. It was just nuts. And like then the cops were just like, our friend Chris, and like he was known as Hat Man at the time, they were just like, are any of you guys over the age of 25? And like Chris is like, yeah, I am. He's like, this kid could put you in jail. Like, he could just say, like that you molested him and you'd be going to jail. And we were just like, dude, what in the fuck? Like it was crazy. Anyway, yeah, I got into the FGC because I like playing video games and fighting games. I guess my biggest accomplishment was I got 3 Evo top 8 medals.
Impressive.
Sounds pretty. I was pretty good in Tekken.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would uphold to that. So I obviously got in at a way different time. I started out just as a big fan of Street Fighter, just for just the game. Like, I like the game, I like the lore. I played all the Street Fighters, I loved them all. But it wasn't until must have been the original Xbox. They had the Capcom Classics collection, which was like arcade ports of the classic Capcom coin-op games, and they came out with Volume 2, which had ST, and along with ST, there was this like video series by a guy I'd never heard of named David Serlin, and it was him explaining beginner, intermediate, and advanced level tactics in ST. He introduced me to a lot of these, fundamental concepts: controlling space, negative edge properties, how to do a reversal, how to bait something, all this stuff. Stuff that I'd never really thought about in a sense. And then, because I was also a kid at the time, I started getting on the internet and finding out that a lot of people talk about this shit. That must have been about mid 2007 or whatever. Like, I ordered the Evo DVD when I saw you're on there for Tekken 5 DR.
Really?
Yeah, you do an interview.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And, I was just a fan like that, but there wasn't a lot of ways to watch it. Like, streaming wasn't a thing. You would hear about tournaments in certain forums, like you go on the SRK forums and stuff like that. But then, Street Fighter 4 got announced, and the world collectively shit itself. And it became back in a big way, like the idea of competing and doing stuff like that. And, I would ghost our local scene on the, the SRK forums, and they were going to have, HD Remix was going to come out, and that was going to be a big tournament game. And everyone's going to play HD Remix.
I fucking love HD Remix.
I loved HD Remix, too. I played it. So that was the first game I got a fight stick for. It was a little hoary thing, a Soul Calibur 4 one. Yeah, and I played the shit out of that game. And I did end up, because I was still a kid, so I was still in high school, but I was able to make some local tournaments, just, when 02, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I would say that was when it was Street Fighter 4 was when I officially, I started going to tournaments. I actually went to Devastation 2010. So it was the Devastation after Street Fighter 4 had come out, and they had moved on to Super at that point. So I went and played Super Street Fighter 4. And that was it. Ever since then, I've kind of played on and off. And obviously, as I, got into Mortal Kombat, my preference pivoted towards the NRS side of games. But I was, I'm a huge Capcom fan in general, so I still play it a lot. My biggest accomplishment was I got 7th at SCR 2014 for Injustice 1. That was my first major for Injustice. So I'd gone to a few during MK9, but Injustice 1, I was having some problems earning money. I was unemployed at the time. And you know, a lot of the local scene from MK9 is sort of not like the game that much. So we had to find new players. So it was only me and a couple other players that really played it. But eventually I was able to make it out. And I didn't play because the online was terrible too. So I didn't play anybody online. But I did make it out to SCR 2014 and I played Deathstroke. And I got 7th. I ended up getting top 8. I beat Slayer at the time, who was, you know, an Evo medalist. So that was a big accomplishment for me personally. And that was the best. And I immediately lost to White Boy, who then was just a player from Florida who was pretty good. Who would go on to be one of the better players in the NRS games. And then I would say the ultimate accomplishment was that win. And I know you're on it too. When that guy made that Injustice, the Gods Among Us shirt.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was awesome.
It's like every character in the game, but their head and their body shape is the person who was most associated by maining them. And I got on there for Deathstroke, and you were on there for Scorpion.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great shirt. It's a shirt. I bought the shirt.
I still have it.
I might post a photo or try to find a link to that guy because of the Redbubble page. See if he still has that. It was super cool, and he made a YouTube video that had all like the animations of the things that he made with all the characters and stuff like that. It was super cool. Super cool of that dude to do that, and I think that was the most fun accomplishment because it's like you're part of something special, you know.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
Yeah, so that was my biggest accomplishment.
Beating Slayer, huh?
I beat Slayer, yeah.
I mean, he loses the girls, though.
That's true, he does. So I don't know if that's like... And actually, it's kind of funny. So I hadn't gone to any majors, but there was a point where a bunch of the California players came out to our thing for this thing that Jason Cole, who, if you guys don't know Jason Cole, he's like a legend in Street Fighter, and he had this thing running called Dojo Sports. It was kind of a scam, to be honest, but I won't talk about that too much. But he brought out a bunch of those guys, and it was like Slayer and Tyrant and Wonder Chef and all these guys. And we actually had a little tournament there. And I actually beat Slayer twice in that tournament with Green Lantern against the original, like the vanilla Superman.
No shit.
And that tournament set I played against Slayer was probably the best set I've ever played in my life. Like the reads I made were like I remember there was a great moment where I got Slayer off his first life bar in the corner on the Themyscira stage. And if you remember, Themyscira stage in the daylight has that giant tree in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that in the original game, that interactable, that was just game over, right? Like you just got hit by that, right?
Right.
I don't know how I did it, but basically the sequence goes, he immediately uses the tree. I backdash it with Green Lantern, whose backdash is super shitty. And then I duck. And then he immediately goes for an instant air dash, and I down 2'd him out of it into a huge combo, and he lost his clash. I don't know why. I was just playing insane at the time. And again, I think it was just because I was having fun. All my guys were cheering me on. Like, it was just a really fun time. That time, those players I played with in Injustice really played it for the fun of it. Great times. And that's why I did the best that I could, given my relative inexperience with playing at a high level and not playing online as much. Mm-hmm. Again, all back to having fun.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, SCR 2013, I remember I went to MK9. There was actually a really fun story there. So I was playing, and I was friends with 16-Bit at the time, and we were hanging out. But I remember there was this little kid. He's probably like 16 or whatever. And he always had his hoodie up, and he had his hair in front of his face all shaggy and stuff. And we're like, what's up with this kid? He looks like an emo kid. And he was playing Kenshi. So I played Kenshi, so we bonded over that sort of. And he ended up staying in our hotel room for the most part. And he went by the name Blind Man. And he explained to me, he was like, yeah, I'm here. I ran away from home to be here.
What?
We were like, oh, excuse me? And he was like, yeah, I played Pig online. And he was like, this stuff is really important. So if you want to do it, you should do it. Who cares if your parents don't like it? So I ran away from home to do this. Like, my parents don't know I'm here.
That's awesome.
And we were like, what? Because Pig had a habit of doing that, by the way. He'd find people who he felt had the potential and just would push them to get out to tournaments. I mean, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but I think that's how Sonic Fox ended up going to tournaments, actually. But so we hung out with this weird little dude, and he was funny, and he's talking shit all the time. Like, he's talking shit to Shujinki Dink, and then he played him in a match, and like, I think he took like 2 rounds off Shujinki Dink wearing a Kenshi like blindfold, like, just.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because he was playing Kenshi, and Dink was playing Quan Chi, who fucking sucked the big one. And we're just having a lot of fun with this kid, and I'm like, this dude's pretty cool. Little did I know he would eventually change his name to Blind Ducky. And he'd go on to be a great Injustice player. Now, as Tyler Smith, go ahead and call him Mr. Raven, because everybody knows that he played Raven. He's associated with that character. And then he now works at NRS. He's just like you did. He's a tester, having a good time. So it's just, you meet people like that, and it's just like the trajectory that, that's the great thing about the fighting game community. I mean, you've probably made a ton of lifelong friends from Tekken. I know I have in the same way. It's just the kind of people you meet, just with fun stories. And that's why I encourage anyone who ever is interested in trying to do it and wants to do it, just go ahead and try it, man. You never know what you find out.
It's pretty cool that if you actually do enjoy fighting games that much, if you really are having that much fun playing them, like, there is an entire community for you to, like, fall into. And there's opportunities in it. Like, it's growing. So you can ham it up in the FGC.
You can be silly. I think it lets people find themselves and like what their natural kind of character is. And I mean, I would say this has had effect, like, cause I was doing it when I was a kid. It had, the way I grew up is largely, due to the FGC and my involvement in it.
Oh yeah. I was a dumb fuck for,
I mean, are you not a dumb fuck now?
Pretty much still a dumb fuck, but I mean, I pretty much had, like, growing up, I didn't have a whole lot of, I wasn't that popular. I wasn't like the most popular kid in school, so to speak. But through fighting games, it kind of opened up my mind, because through fighting games, the variables were gone. Like, because, I'm not like a physical fucking specimen. I love competition. But I'm semi-athletic, but I'm not like the most fucking athletic kid out there. So, and I just got bad stamina, so what I could figure out, like, I would get tired and then I just would get shitty, and I was like, God, so like, I couldn't find a lot of confidence in like competitive thing. The only thing that I knew I was good at was fighting games. Like, I had an older brother, he was like 4 years older than me, he pretty much beat the shit out of me and everything. But for some reason, fighting games, it was like the one thing I could beat him in. I had no idea why, but I was just like, for some reason, I'm good at this. And that held true. And then that when I started playing like fighting games, like out of high school, that's when I started playing people that are like a lot better than me. It really developed my mind, because it eliminated the variables of me just not being athletic enough through competition, and I really understood how good my problem solving skills were and how smart I could actually be through fighting games. I got a lot of confidence through that. So a lot of my mind is like got developed through playing these games and stuff. So they're huge. They did a lot for me. Shit. That's why it's hard for me to like anything else I ever try. I correlate it to how I learned how to be good at fighting games. Like, very meticulous, very step by step, a lot of failure.
But from failure comes triumph.
Right. Like, you get bodied and then you just get better. And like, through getting bodied so much, like playing the friends that I had out of high school and just slowly getting up to their level and becoming just as good, if not better than them. Like, there's almost nothing I feel like I can not do if I really set my mind to it, like I do a fighting game. But it's just fighting games. I have so much fun playing them. It's hard not to be good at those.
Yeah, or want to be good at those. Yeah, because
I'm not saying I'm that fucking great. I mean, I'm fucking old as hell now, but I still have fun with them, and I still try. Like, and when I don't play, like I've said this before, like when I end up not playing fighting games, I just don't feel like I don't feel like my problem solving skills are as good as they can be or have been, or so they always keep it's like the old people when they do crossword puzzles.
Yeah, I've always said
puzzle is fucking
yeah.
fighting.
Some people count cards in their head to keep sharp. I play fighting games visually.
Exactly.
I'm a very visual thinker, so I've always been that way. So like, for me, it was like, when I would write, I could literally imagine in my head what I wanted it to sound like and look like. But with fighting games, I can actually play it literally in my head. And if I'm familiar enough with it, I don't even have to play to kind of simulate what I think I want. And only do I, when I wanted to actually figure out something and I couldn't figure out how it might work. But yeah, that's the fun part. Like, you get to do that, and then you get to hang out with people. And like you mentioned, you know, like I was the same. I wasn't athletic as a fat kid. Still am a fat kid. And I didn't do sports or anything like that. But, you know, when it came to fighting games, it didn't really matter as a fucking fat chode. Everybody else, you know, a lot of other guys were too.
You're on a level playing field mentally.
Mentally, yeah. And I understand, like, I mean, I've written about it. It's unfortunately, the fighting game is not some great meritocracy where skill equals everything. You know, obviously there's assholes out there who are going to discriminate. But I will say, for my local scene, as soon as I showed that I was dedicated enough to show up, even though I wasn't placing, everybody was super cool. If I ever went out of state, like, you can actually, if you look up the SCR 2014 top 8 video, I'm in one of the first matches against White Boy. You can see when I win a match, this whole fucking side of the crowd pops up. All that is just Arizona dudes who don't play Injustice, but they know I'm from Arizona, popping off for me.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like having, you know, it's like being on a sporting team or something like that. It's just it's that, you know, acceptance and like, wow, I'm just, you know, I'm part of the team and all that. It's just super cool. And if you don't get to experience it, it's a shame. And I know a lot of people, unfortunately, get, you know, barriered out for whatever dumb reason. But when it's working, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's a good note to end it on. A little note of positivity for y'all. We will be back hopefully in a week. We got some fun stuff coming down the line. We're thinking about, since Evo's coming up, we're both going to be at Evo. Maybe doing a little bit of nostalgia. Think about Injustice of Evo's past, and of Evo's present, and maybe even of Evo's future, if there's a future for it. We'll look back maybe at Injustice 1 when it first burst on the scene in 2013, Injustice 2's first Evo. Unfortunately, the second Injustice Evo, there's not a lot of footage because it was a shit show of a tournament, but it was actually one of the most competitive, fun experiences I've ever been a part of. Hopefully we can talk about that. I don't think Brad was there, but maybe we can talk about it. Maybe we're thinking about including maybe some sort of video version of that. We're going to work with Raptor. Again, thank Raptor for all the work he's been doing on this for the videos. And, you know, I think we'll see you again in a week.
Yep.
Yeah, so for signing off for now, it's King Hippo.
Slips.
Peace.
Peace.